out there, ref. He got the ball.
Yes, everybody, how are we? Welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. This is going to be your watch along, and we're going into another Man City game, another opportunity to own Manchester. Dave and I are actually getting a little bit bored of owning Manchester. We kind of want to go to the further regions of it. If you know any maybe townships or any other counties, maybe just outside that we can maybe be a part of, do let us know. But this is going to be always, as should be on paper, a very fun game. It's usually high scoring. It's usually end to end. Oftentimes we get some master classes from somebody. Plenty of times it's been from players you wouldn't expect. I've seen Emerson Royale pull off one or two against Man City. Davinson Sanchez, of all people I know, has had great games against Manchester City. Højbjerg, anybody, you could imagine is capable of it. Let's just hope that this team is. They are feeling, a bit more confident than, of course, they were earlier on in the season. And Ange Postecoglou has gone with a very, very different lineup, giving an opportunity to plenty of people to step up here. And then, of course, giving a rest to plenty of people as well. Hopefully people can see us, hear us okay. Dave, shall I read aloud the lineup, or any maybe quick thoughts on sort of the the game going into these going into this? Any sounding speech for us? Sorry, I think you're on mute there.
Yeah, looking at it now, Jack, I think you look at the rotation from Ange Postecoglou. I think it's an interesting shout. You've got eight days between now and AZ Alkmaar. The likes of Son, Kulu, Spence. Do they need to be rested? It sort of leaves me with a feeling, Jack. I don't really know what to expect. On one hand, I'm really excited to see what this starting lineup can do. I think someone like Wilson Udeberg really excites me. I think Johnson up there, it can be a very quick front line, but also it can be one that could frustrate us largely in front of goals. But on the other hand, then I sort of think, are we setting ourselves up for a hiding here tonight with that lineup? So it's one of them where I don't really know what to expect and what way to really feel, because I can see the potential, but I can also see the disaster waiting to happen. So people in the chat, let me know where we're at.
Yeah, let us know, everybody. Please do. My favorite question, or my favorite comment, is from Leighton Evelyn, because we know Leighton, is going to be my favorite, my favorite fan, and he's saying Jack made that hat is awful. I agree, but people seem to think it was good luck, and when I was feeling a fever, during the last watch along, Leighton, it actually turned out to be good luck for us. So we're just going to have to continue with it. The superstition is what's needed right now for Tottenham Hotspur. We'll take any sort of win streak we can get. We can't break a thing. So Leighton Evelyn, let me know what sort of drink did you have in front of you? What sort of hoodie did you have on, while you were watching the game? You got to put it all on. You got to manifest the same type of luck. It ain't sexy, says Angelo Tyro. Definitely not. Definitely not. But let's go to the chat here. We do have AK Shek saying happy about this lineup. Rest up the lads and get some other people in the rotation. I mean, yeah, that's what Ange Postecoglou has done here. He's put plenty of different people in the rotation. Wilson Odeberg, I mean, the last time he had a start was against Newcastle, if I remember correctly, long time ago, early on in the season. And then some others too. Rick C is in here. Good to see Rick. Darv Hotspur, big up to all. Come on, you Spurs, 3-1 win tonight. Let's have it. DG saying, I do sense a win as well. Plenty of people do, when it's Man City on the cards. And James saying Ange is resting Sinaldo, Kulusevski, Sar, Jedi Spence. He's going all in for Europe. The players that he is resting, Dave, is that an indication of who he's preferring then for the bigger games?
Well, I think maybe it is an indication that, certain players are going to be sort of not risked for that AZ Alkmaar game. It seems to be the case in the pre-match press conference leading into this game. He did say he was going to protect some players. It was just everyone was trying to work out who he's going to protect. And I think everyone was maybe toying with the idea between Kulusevski being the main guy. And I think Postecoglou has probably protected a lot more players than what we thought. But what I will say, Jack, is you look at Jed Spence, Son, Kulusevski, players that have pulled us through in recent weeks. I think it's a good test of the players that are out there today. The likes of Pedro Porro, Destiny Udogie coming back from injury, the likes of Maddison stepping in tonight, the likes of Johnson, Tell, and Udeberg. I think it's a good test to see what they have without the natural leaders that we always turn to in recent weeks, to see what they can do, see what their mentality is like. And if they can come here and put in a really good performance today and take a result here today, I think it leaves many people very excited, leading into the rest of the games, knowing that you've got a squad, even though we make changes, we are at it. And I think, it's a good idea because we are coming up to the summer transfer window. I think it's a good opportunity for some of these players to say, look, don't forget about me as part of your plans next season. This season hasn't gone to plan. And the likes of Udaber's been out for quite some time. The likes of Destiny Adogi, has been out for large parts of this season. The likes of
Yeah.
Madison has been in and out of the team. Johnson's been out. There's still a lot of questions around Johnson and a lot of questions around Matisse Tell. So I think, it's a real good opportunity against a real good team for these guys to stand up and say, I'm a part of your plans next year.
Yeah, 100%. We also have as well Conexion Spurs. Hola, come on, you Spurs. I mean, we'd like to see some Conexion, in
Yeah.
possession today from the team, some liquid Conexion. Jay Mead saying, here we go, Spurs roller coaster. Strap yourselves in always, especially with these watch-alongs, always roller coaster stuff. No idea what to expect, says Ribsy85. Derek
Yeah.
Hutchinson saying, big up Dave and Jack, 3-1 Spurs tonight. Come on, you Spurs. Big up to see Derek. Always great. Ryan Trestane in with us. Ryan, are we watching the game? Evening, Dave and Jack. I told you that Spence would not play, so it's definitely a 4-3 defeat, 100%. Well, Rhino, I guess
Oh,
6 out of 6 versus Manchester teams. Then we face Man United in the Europa League final to make it 7 out of 7. Dave, do you recall ever playing Manchester this many times, in a season? It's pretty
no.
absurd.
No, it's pretty absurd. Look, we've had both league games and then we've had the boat in the Carabao Cup as well. So, it's been pretty intense. But look, there was a period of time where, Spurs fans would have snapped your arms off to have this sort of spell over the two Manchester teams. And yeah,
Yeah,
they're not
totally.
right at it this season, but at the end of the day, it's still good to have this momentum that, it shows, okay, we can compare it to these teams. Now, how do we catch Liverpool and Arsenal, the two teams that we were truly outclassed by? So, look, let's wait and see what happens.
Absolutely. We have Tartan Spurs in with us. Big up, boys. Interesting what Ange has decided to go for. Not too sure it's going to work out, but good to see Odebear and Udogi down our left-hand side. It's potential for a good link-up. I think it's going to be interesting to see Tell and Odebear playing off of each other. Dave said, they played with each other in the under-21s for France. I believe they're kind of from that talent factory of those Parisian outer suburbs, there that, produce some of the best players kind of in the world now. It's just been one of the hotbeds of young talent, the last 10 years or so. So I imagine maybe even before the France, under 21s, these kids might have maybe come across each other and might have been playing, maybe in separate teams or maybe playing on the same team. You never know. It's you hope that could be the case because you've seen it before, Dave. Plenty of young French talents, can really blossom if just given maybe the right sort of ingredients, to, thrive because they just continue to produce, so many top elite level players. And Matisse
Mm.
Tell, Wilson Odebear would be amazing if we could have a little French duo, a little French connection.
Look, with France, it goes all the way back to them setting up that school of excellence, and ever since then, it's been a conveyor belt of talent for the French national team. But look, when you look at this forward line, Jack, look, don't get me wrong. In a way, it sort of does concern me. You look at Johnson outside of arriving in at the right place at the right time, he doesn't do an awful lot. And then you look at the likes of Udaber and Tell. Again, they're young, they're raw. Is Johnson going to get that service that Son has provided him to help Johnson in that game against Ipswich? I'm not quite so sure. You look at Matisse Tell, was absolutely anonymous against Ipswich, was bullied all game long, couldn't get the ball into him or couldn't make it stick. Wilson Odeberry's been out for a long time. But one thing I will say is, it's certainly an exciting front line. It's a front line that's quick, that's mobile, that's agile, that you would think should have no problem looking to go and press that ball. When we're looking to break away, should have no problem getting on that ball, carrying it large distances very, very quickly. Udaber, from what we have seen of this season, he's well able to beat his man, cut inside and open up space. For me, it just comes down to, do they have that calmness in the moment? And this is what I've always spoke about with Harry Kane, that decisive pass, that decisive clinical finish on the end of it. That's where it really matters. Anyone can look good cutting inside, but if you've got no end product, it becomes very, very frustrating. And that's my huge concern about this front line. But again, it's a prime opportunity for them to put their hands up and say, shut up, Dave. Matisse Tell and Wilson Odeber have history of playing together to have that natural connection. So they could just very well conjure up something. Someone like Odeber having that comfort blanket there for Matisse Tell might actually bring a lot out Matisse Tell because, you have someone that understands Tell's game, someone that understands what he's looking for, and you might actually see a lot of things from Matisse Tell tonight where you go, you know what, I didn't even think he had that in his locker. So I think it's a real good opportunity for these guys moving forward afford to put the pressure on someone like Son and Kulu to say, look, you're not an automatic every single week. So it's one of them. It can either really be frustrating today or it can be really exciting today. And I think it's one of them. We just have to wait and see, Jack.
We just have to wait and see. Very well put. But I mean, you could see Tell and Odebear maybe easing into the game, really creating some nice stuff. And then maybe Johnson, again, to be the guy that perfectly puts himself at the right place at the right time to maybe put away what they've been creating, between themselves. You could see some sort of scenario like that working out, but that's being optimistic, right? For, how it could work today, but we'll find out. So, it's a big test. I'm really excited, especially about Odebear, because I think what we have seen from him, of course, like a lot of these young guys, very raw, but he's kind of in the mold of what a lot of us have been asking for, in terms of what we want to see more from in terms of the wingers. He's very positive, direct, runs at his, defender and really makes them uncomfortable and plays fast, plays kind of, quick stuff. And I like that about him. So I think he'll be fun to watch today.
I was listening to the David Ginola podcast, with Tottenham there last night. One of the guys said with David Ginola, like when you got on the ball, almost everything went silent and you could hear the seats slapping up as people were rising to their feet. That's the sort of era where I want to get back to with our wingers. Whereas as soon as they touch the ball, you start to get excited that they're explosive. Anything can happen. And I do think Wilson Odebear does possess that. It's just about... Can he add that end product? I mean, you go back to Newcastle this year, Jack. He got in some shots, but when he shot, they were often wild. He missed a couple of good chances at the back post because that composure wasn't there. And that's the next thing he needs to bring to his game. But don't get me wrong, I'm really excited to see what he can do today. He really does excite me, Wilson Odebear. But like I've always said with him, it's that rawness in that moment where it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net or really being that sort of difference maker. So I'm excited to see what he can do today, but I'm also cautious because he's been out for a long time.
Yeah, I like a good dribbler who has that low center of gravity, in the way that they kind of move. It's just very fun to watch. It has a nice sort of aesthetic about it, for me personally. But some people asking, what is more injured, for this lineup, Dave? I mean, any thoughts on that? Mikey Moore maybe not being on the bench?
Well, look, Postecoglou didn't say anything in the pre-match press conference, with the likes of some of the experienced players coming back. One player's going to have to miss out. It was Timo Werner that missed out last week against Ipswich, so it is coming to the point with players coming back now. Some of these players are going to miss out on the match day squad. And maybe is it one of them where Moore sort of reverts back to maybe academy football, or that's where he's going to get his game time between now and the end of the season. Now more of the experienced players are coming back, which I don't necessarily think is the right decision. I think Mikey Moore has shown more than what a lot of these wingers this year. So for me, it's an interesting one. I think we just got to sit tight and see how it plays out. I'm sure Postecoglou will be asked it after the game or in the build-up to the ASI Alkmaar game.
Just something to note, though, by the way, anybody, is that there are technically no recognizable center backs, to pick from on the bench there, actually. They're all, I know, but Ben Davis is injured. Just something to point out.
Not fit. Van de Ven's injured. Dragason's injured. So we've got to try and get Danzo through this game badly.
Yeah, so it's just something also that maybe Ange still had to maybe think about, going into this game in terms of, how he had to go with the lineup. Maybe that could have even been an explanation for the fullback, kind of, one with Jed Spence there. But good to see so many of you guys in here with us. Earlier, the Big D was saying, he's headed off to the pub. He's tuned in, headed to the pub. Hope you have a great show, lads. Big up, and also come on, you Spurs. Big up to see you.
Appreciate that.
Big D, appreciate you. Kulu's elusive right foot saying it looks like it's going to be a battle of the subs. We got some of the big guns on the bench. Looking forward to see what Odebear can do in this game. Yeah, we'll find out. Kulu's elusive right foot. I mean, your right foot's on the bench tonight, so you're going to be getting a needed rest. Will you be called on at all, I guess, is the question.
Look, I think when it comes to Kulusevski, I think, even someone like me and Kulu's elusive right foot who are truly Kulu stands, I think we have to realize, there was coming a point where he needed to be rested. Look at the amount of games he's played this year, back to back to back. I mean, it's because we've been heavily reliant on his creativity. And you heard him on the Sky Sports interview speaking ahead of the Ipswich game about going into games 40-50% right. That's not right. That's actually player neglect, to be quite frank. Completely in the red zone at risk of injury, and we keep bowling him out there. So I do think there comes a point where you do have to sort of hold him back and make sure he's fresh. And just maybe Postecoglou is giving giving this Kulu as like a little bit of a mini break, a little bit of a mini holiday to sort of just also mentally sort of get himself right again for this run in with the UEFA Cup. And look, that is our priority. With Son and Spence, you could argue, look, do they really need to be rested? Do they really need to be taken out? But at the end of the day, what I will say is, if we are in this game with inside 60 minutes, there's a real opportunity for us to bring on a Kulu, a Spence, and really add a new dynamic to them, a bit of a new creativity, and actually go and nick this game. I think, in a way, do you really want Kulu and Son energy zapping, just chasing that ball, or do you want to bring them on later on in the game where maybe City aren't as dominant because they're a bit more tired? There's a lot more space for them to operate in. Maybe that's the game plan today. But like I said, we have to ask other people to step up. We can't keep relying on these individuals. So hopefully some of these players today step up and say, you can also rely on me, because that's what we've been waiting for.
Totally. And I also saw, I think, Daniel Wong. Good to see you, Daniel Wong. Levi Tooker. AK Shags. Good to see you, AK Shags. How are you, sir? And then DJ Samuel. Come on, you Spurs. Good to see you, DJ. DB saying, if he wins, genius. If he loses, excuses. All ready to go, though. Ange Bull, pick up to you, DB. Hopefully you're doing okay. Michael Lee, Morlar, appreciate all the support, everybody. Lee Harvey, Dave, celebrating 12 months as a fan show member. Thank you so much, Lee. Evening, David Jack. Holland and Marmouche starting won't be as easy as we were thinking, but a sneaky 3-2 win for me. Come on, you Spurs. Love that. I mean, I think, yeah, Man City are a much, much better side when it's Marmouche and Holland together. I think they were not really, it's just there wasn't really any bite to that forward line. It just didn't really seem to work for them when it was just kind of Marmouche by himself. I think the dynamic having those two together is dangerous for sure. Can people still hear me okay? Did I lose Dave? Can people still hear me okay?
Yeah, you're back now. Sorry, you went there, Jack.
Okay. Well, let me know if I went or Dave went. If Ribsy 85, another big performance from Vic. Dave, just continue on what I was saying. I think maybe.
Yeah.
When
it comes to Haaland, I think, look, we done the watch along over on Big Up for the Man City and the Liverpool game, and look, Liverpool were devastating on the counter. They took the chances, but Man City were relatively good in possession. It just felt like a lot of the times when it came up to the final third, or they're approaching that final third, because they're so used to having Haaland there, that focal point, that guy they could hit or find in the box. I really do think when he wasn't there, they really missed that. That's what my biggest takeaway from that Man City and that Liverpool game on the weekend is, that not having Haaland in the middle, it sort of leaves City a little bit clueless to a large degree. So having him back today, it does add that dynamic where they can put balls into the box and go and test us. And this is where we need a massive game from someone like Vicario. He will be tested at times today, but one thing he does do is he can step up with big saves to keep you in the game, keep that momentum going. So we need a massive game from him. Then you're also looking at the likes of Kevin Danzo. Look, Archie Gray got bullied by Liam Delap for the first 15, 20 minutes. If I'm Haaland, I'm probably going to position myself on Archie Gray to try and do the same thing.
Yeah,
but that's where we do need Danzo to sort of come across with, if he can, and sort of help handle that. But then you've also got the added pressure of keeping an eye on Marmouche. So we're going to need a massive game from them defensively. That's where I think Bentancur comes in. When Bentancur is at his best, like against Brentford, he's in that box, clearing balls, headering balls away, clearing up anything that's in and around that box, blocking shots coming in from the edge of the box, getting down out left and right, stopping their counterattacks coming forward, which allows your fullbacks to get back. That's where Bentancur's at his best out of possession, and that's where he really needs a massive game today. And you go back to that Man City game where we beat them 4-0 at theirs. Basuma was absolutely outstanding in that role, and we need a similar one from Bentancur here today. If we can do that, we've got a real chance of being able to sort of stop City to a large degree and really hit them on the counter today.
Yeah, 100%. I just think, it is a different dynamic. Does make me a bit more nervous, with having a stronger lineup. But very good points, Dave, about, Delap, causing us so many problems in that game. And, how, in a way, Holland and him, very similar physical players, that would, want to cause similar issues. But, I mean, Danzo, will he start on the left, again? That will be another question, because I think someone brought up the idea that maybe Ange just trying to give him that chance to, be comfortable to play on the left side. It was you. I think it was during the fan show, right? We were having a conversation with someone about it. Maybe you started it. And we were talking, like Danzo maybe is given this chance to be comfortable on the left in case that, we ever have to, rotate, with Van de Ven, because of his kind of injury issues. And Ben Davis, as we brought up earlier, not available either. So
Mm.
Kevin Danso is just something to think about. Might be given another opportunity here tonight on that left side. And we'll find out
Mm.
in about 8 minutes' time.
Well, the thing is with Ben Davies, right? His contract's coming up. The club don't seem to be in a rush to be offering him a new one. So maybe it could be a case where Ben Davies is going to be phased out between now and the end of the season.
Uh-huh.
You look at Mickey Van de Ven. We haven't seen pictures of him back in training like Romero. And believe me, if he was back in training, they'd have that plastered all over socials because they know fans would absolutely lap it up, especially in times right now where the pressure is on the manager and the ownership and the players, etc., etc. Believe me, they'd have that plastered everywhere, which means I don't think we're being told the full story of Van de Ven. So I do wonder, is Danzo being used to get comfortable on that left-hand side so Romero slots back in on the right-hand side? It's just a theory. I know some people say, Dave, you go too far at these conspiracies, but I said it way back when Van de Ven first was on the pitch against Brentford. I said, you're not going to see him, and we still haven't to this day. So, maybe I could be on the nail there. Another player, just quickly, Jack, that, I'm excited to see what he can do today is James Maddison. One thing I mentioned is that against Man United, I saw, was it Man United? I think so. I saw the difference that he sort of has to everybody else is that he has the ability to be able to weight that ball in behind for people to run onto. And I think that would suit someone like Udebur, Matisse Tell, and Brennan Johnson today. So again, if he can have a massive day, he can really sort of help dictate things going forward today for us. He's going to be absolutely crucial for us on the attack or on the counter-attack today. We need a massive game. He was brilliant against them in the 4-2, not only in possession, getting up there, scoring goals, but out of possession, he mucked in. He was very good, getting in tackles and stuff. And I would like to see James Maddison really up for this game because look, he has a chance to sort of redeem himself to a large degree, Jack. He did say that he had phone calls with Thomas Tuchel, sounding him out potentially for the England squad. When you look into his stats, it is only Cole Palmer that has outperformed him. Yeah, but it is only Cole Palmer that has outperformed him in terms of goals and assists.
Sure.
Which then, when you look at it like that, he probably might be on the plane. So I think it's in his best interest to really step up and have a really good sort of
absolutely
consistent end towards the end of the season. Like he also went on to say, Jack, that, you look at the teams around us, we feel like we shouldn't be here. We feel like we're capable of going on a run and pulling ourselves up the table. But that starts by being consistent week in, week out. So let's see what you got, James.
Very good point towards the end there. Absolutely. Captain Pants, good to see you, sir. Outeras Fasare, good to see you. Dan Clark, how are you? Lupercal, good to see you. Dr. Johnny D, the one and only. Berbatos Halftime Smoke, appreciate it. He was saying the audio didn't go or anything. That's a good sign. Good starts, good starts. Nothing really dipped or anything. Stevie Frazier, big up. Good to see you. Best midfielder around. Rain Man is in the house as well. I've said it elsewhere. Dropping Spence could well be what turns people against Angie. I was fearful of it, but I see the logic in it personally. Rain Man, I mean, I understand. Jed Spence. When Sam said the other day, he was like, he's not the second coming, of Christ or anything. I was like, he kind of is, right now. He kind of is, everybody's savior. He is probably on everyone's phone screens.
Yeah.
I think even Dave, replaced, the picture of him and his missus, with a Jed Spence picture at the moment. Dan Coy saying, just leaving work. We'll listen to the watch along on the way home. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate all the support for us, by the way, sir. Sean Maddox saying, what's up, boys? Excited for the game. And I don't want to hear complaints about Ange rotating Kulu. With no gas in the tank, he doesn't need to be in our best team. Yeah, I think he's just saying Kulu needs a rest. I agree with you. And also, right, you want to try to see if you can win games without your best players, and sometimes you got to let other people step up. And then
also, just
so
quickly, big up the Outlet as well. Good to see you. Great comment. Hopefully you're keeping well. He's a really big fan of Danzo, actually. I was on the phone to him today, Jack. He really likes what he sees from Danzo. So we're sort of in the same alignment there in terms of thinking for once this season around Tottenham Hotspur. With that, hopefully we can get after it, get another 3 points on the board today. Hopefully you enjoy the game. Come on, let's bloody go, my man.
And then Dark Sun G saying, come on, you Spurs, let's win today. Happy to see Wilson start with Tell. Yeah, Dark Sun G, earlier we were, kind of waxing lyrical that, maybe these guys could find, that France under 21 connection that they do have. But I brought up earlier, and, Dave, rightfully so, quoted the academy. But, you look at, the teams, that come, from, or sorry, the really talented players that come from those Parisian suburbs, right? There, so many, brilliant golden generations, that have been coming through there. And, these guys, maybe know a thing or two about each other. We'll might see some liquid French connection, tonight. And Dave, whenever Dave's speaking French during a watch along, that's usually a good sign. Dark Sun G. So hopefully we get that today.
No, big up Dark Sun G. Look, I'm excited, really excited to see what Udebur can do. He's a player that, I think he's just got that unpredictability about him when he gets on the ball. He excites you again. I just have questions around the end product. It has been a bit raw, some wild shots when the moments has presented itself. But look, I think it's one that we can certainly. Udebur is someone that we've been crying out for, someone that can get on the ball, take his man on, raw, quick, step inside, outside, someone that could take on multiple players if needed. So I'm really excited to see what he can offer.
Yeah, 100%. And then we also had as well Shikari Shock joining us. Jack, did you do FAP from last week? I got 101 points. I'll try to, Iceman, send me a screenshot. I'd be happy to update. I'd be happy to give you the praise. I just don't know if I was able in time to give you guys an update for the quick turnaround for this one. As per usual, I'm usually behind Iceman. And also, when at any time when it comes to giving you praise in fantasy, it seems like I'm always usually behind. And somehow, I find a way to almost unintentionally ignore you, but it always seems to happen. Big up to you, Iceman. Good to see you in the house. Fat Tony, my fellow Washingtonian, let's go. Just checking in before I throw my phone in the trash to avoid spoilers. Big up, Fat Tony. Good to see you, sir. Tony. Dennis Daly, how are you? Ed Sweden, good to see you. Big up, everyone. Hoping to keep the run going. Good chance for Odebear. It's been hard for him to get to hear Come On You Spurs. I've been waiting for him all season, man. Like, I've been really desperate to get more glimpses of what he can do, because any little pieces that I've seen, he's just, that kind of guy that, in a way excites me. He's a low center of gravity, runs at players, plays very fast, plays, little quick 1-2s, tries to run around, his fullback, run at his player, with the ball close to his feet, just has a real directness and agility about him that I just think is nice to watch and fun to watch. And of course, is very, very raw still, but I'm looking forward to it because he's just kind of something different that we've been kind of crying out for all season, really.
No,
and also Sonny's been running to the ground to an extent, right? The guy's just, as much as some people are done with him, he's been played week in, week out for a large period now. It's going to be nice to see someone else, be given a real start against a real opponent here, not like Elfsborg. It's, fair play to Mikey Moore for, playing when he has, but, he's only really been rolled in for those sort of kind of games and stuff like that. It's nice to see someone else, play instead of Son for this, just to give him that rest and see something different. I think Matisse Tell was the only other kind of recent player to play, start as a left winger, I guess, instead of a Sonny. So it's something different. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, well, look, it'd just be nice to get this victory over the line, regardless of the team selection. It'd just be nice to continue this momentum, Jack. Do not lose tonight. Let's keep the good feelings heading into that AZ Alkmaar game, and let's keep going. Why did he keep rolling out the trumpet guy? Why?
Listen to the outlet here, everybody. 261 watching, only 56 likes. Come on, boys. Well, you got to listen to him. If you don't listen to us, you got to listen to him. He will lay the foot down, please, everybody.
My dad was saying today, you don't do enough of telling people to like the streams and that. So I think he's coming in here and he's taking leadership on that, making sure everyone does their homework. Referee has to count imagine being at the professional level and the referee still has to count the amount of players on each team. What a dick.
Dark Sun G, remember Jared Gillette? This guy really does not, call favorably towards Spurs, especially Ange, it's felt like.
And who's that other idiot in the VR room?
Graham Scott, I think he said.
Yeah, Graham Scott, Dark Sun G. Anything on him?
Yeah, any dirt on Graham Scott that we have, Dark Sun G?
I feel like that name sent alarm bells ringing in my head when I seen it.
Initial kickoff here. Danzo already no nonsense, coming out with the ball as well. And looking at making a marauding run here, being an unselfish player.
Oh, it's just overhit.
Overplayed by, I think it was Odebear.
Well done, Madison. Unlucky. Haaland. Moves into Mamouche.
Nice start from Danzo, though. Anybody who likes Danzo, straight away, what an involvement.
Yeah. Go on, Odebear.
Good press, and he plays in a shoulder. Destiny Udogi does well. Gets stuck in. Madison, you got time, lad. Oh, lovely stuff. Odebear here. Spurs are on the break.
Find Johnson.
Out wide to Johnson. He's got space here. Johnson,
shoot.
Take a shot.
Oh, it cuts in.
Inside.
What are you doing?
Have that shot. Doesn't take the shot.
Oh, it's back. Someone shoot! Someone shoot, please!
Johnson, man, he's got to be the one shooting it.
Oh, someone has to shoot there. Good dispossession of Haaland. Well done, Madison. He still
If it
comes
isn't a
out with it.
tap in, he's struggling. You had the space
Oh,
there, Johnson. You had the space, lad. You got to fire the shot.
yeah, you just got to try and pull the trigger there, man. Unlucky.
He did.
Good
He
start,
created
though.
the space. He created the space. He just didn't pull it.
It's a good start. Hopefully, that's a sign of things to come tonight. You know, quick in the transitions, get at them nice and quickly. Now we just got to learn to pull the trigger, and we're away. Come on,
Break
get off
from,
that
from Madison and Odeberg. Great break from them. Lovely stuff. And
Tottenham trying to
Udogie
play
got
City
stuck
high
in.
here. It's a good press by Tottenham. Can we force them into a mistake here? Johnson forcing Kuzmanov.
Ruben Dias.
Ruben
Gets
Dias pumps it long.
Savio, heavy touch. Oh, nice Matters.
Come on. Oh.
Lovely.
Well done, Madison. Well done. Bloody brilliant.
Oh, he's taking him on as well.
There we go, James. Come on, James.
He's all over him. Actually does.
Well done, Madison.
He's all over the place.
Corner.
How many
Come on.
tackles is
Right
that
thing.
Madison's getting in? The stats are blowing up here.
Yeah, well done, James. Brilliant play.
Stuck
That's
in.
more like it. Going at them nice and early, looking to dominate them here. Nothing to fear.
Madison
It's
looks up for
way.
it, says King Hoddle.
Huh?
Matters looks up for it, says King Hoddle.
Yeah. It's what we want.
Oh, love it from Bergs. He barged through him there. He probably didn't need to. He didn't know he was coming. Paul Markey earlier, Dave, same team selection has me bamboozled. Hope Ange has it right.
Paul, good to see you, first of all, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well. Look, I think it's got many people perplexed, but Ange did say in his pre-match press conference he was going to protect a few individuals. So you can only assume the individuals that he's took out of the lineup today are the ones that he's protecting for the AZ Alkmaar game. Paul Markey. It's got a lot of us bamboos, but look, let's wait and see how it goes, Paul. But good to see you, my man. How's life treating you up in Dublin, buddy? Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Do you know what? If I'm ever up there, it'd be nice to actually, meet you someday up there in the city centre if I'm up there for an Ireland game anytime soon.
You've also missed some great, Brendan Johnson conversations. Your favorite player,
Yeah,
Paul.
I think he's delighted he's missed them, to be quite frank, Jack. Danzo in possession.
I'm also. I could see why maybe you're not happy with the rotation, Paul. Me personally, I could see why you're looking for it.
Good ball, Gray. Composure, Destiny. Oh, he gets
Udogie turns into Marmouche. He gets picked.
Oh, wow, brilliant from Bentancur. Brilliant from Rodrigo. Madison outside of the ball, boot in behind. Well done. That's a throw and we're out. That's brilliant. That's fucking brilliant play from Rodrigo.
He read it so well there.
I was reading an article and they started calling him Rodri. I was like, geez, we're trying hard here. If we want a Rodri, go buy a Rodri.
Not playing that well yet.
It's a good opening 4 minutes from Tottenham. Huh?
There's a Sean Dyche lookalike, in Pep Guardiola's staff.
Gray. Back to Danzo. Oh, this is a bit loose here. Danzo keeps it in. Oh, well done, Udeberg. Oh, this is brilliant. Udeberg's on the break here. He gets to run at Kuzmanov. Guardiol. Who is it?
Come on. One step.
Oh, corner kick. That'll do. Here we go. Come on, Bentancur. Come on, Danzo. 50 Cent, get up there. Mini men, let's go.
Like watching a little Dave Harris on hyperdrive. Like a Dave after a Red Bull.
Dave after a can of Monster. I don't do Red Bull, Jack. I don't even do Monster anymore, to be fair.
Simon Coley, good to see you, Simon.
Come on. Be good to see you, Simon. Hopefully you're keeping well, buddy. Madison, can we get a good delivery here? I've got a feeling for Bentancur and Danzo.
Oh,
it's a flick. Oh, it's Danzo with the flick as well. Oh, no, it's not. It's Tell.
Not a bad idea. More just want someone to maybe get their head onto it after that.
Don't drop too deep. They want to play it out. City pump it long over Pedro Porro's head. I think this is going to be a theme of Man
they've
City
done that before against us, I remember.
Well done, Porro. Good interception. Brilliant ball into.
Get rid of it, Brennan. Bergvall takes the space. Lovely, son. Lovely Bergvall.
We're looking good here in possession.
Pedro.
He's looking for the run of Tally's off.
Yeah, he wanted a ball in behind. Oh, Bergvall.
That's filthy. Now play him.
Tell.
Oh, it's to nobody, really. I think he's going to leave that one to Johnson.
Johnson.
He's asking a lot of them there.
Johnson just didn't.
He didn't really play it into Johnson's part or Tell's part, to be fair. He just sort of put it in between them.
Maybe he just thought one of them was going to make that run.
Yeah.
Ball
Man
behind
City
here.
looked to play in.
Well recovered.
Big fake.
No problem for the Vic. Oh, look at that touch. Sprays it out wide as well.
People are saying Bergval's looking good. Sauceval is looking brilliant.
Well, he did really well. He was under pressure there in both times, and he came out with it looking like a man on a mission.
Danzo moves it on to Archie. Oh,
now Archie's taking his space.
Oh, this is good.
Oh,
someone help him.
Holding on
Someone
to it too long there.
There's no one really coming to present an option, though. Get back.
This is, I think, Savio.
Look at the play behind. That's the Adogi. It's a good ball. Danzo tries to get across. What a save from Vicario. Haaland caught that one well.
Big danger moment for City.
Who didn't go with the run in there? Udeberg.
Yeah.
Udeberg got caught slacking there. He's going to have to be more switched on. You can't allow that to happen.
Straight into Vic. Good positioning by Vic.
Oh, it's a ball in behind Haaland. Well done, Vicario.
Very brave as well. Very brave.
Haaland had a good grip of Archie Gray there. That's brilliant from Vicario bailing him out. Tottenham looked to spring an attack of their own. It's just a long ball straight back to Man City.
I mean, Haaland was there as well. That was very brave. He had to just sort of present himself to get kicked. I mean, he nearly got kicked in the face. Probably did.
It was very brave from Vicario. He really dug Archie Gray out there because Haaland had a good grip of him. City trying to break out from the back here again, though. It's gone all the way back to Ruben Diaz.
Spurs kind of dealing the initial blows, and now City getting their foot on the ball. Ping ball over behind Porro. Can he get there?
Can he get there up against Doku? He doesn't. He gets absolutely bodied. It's a good pull back. Well done, Destiny. Let's break. Let's break. Go, Madison.
Get rid of it.
Come on, let's go. Porro.
Hey, Joe. Someone make a run for him.
Oh, come on, why are we slowing it down? We're allowing him to get back. The break was on. Madison gets blocked.
Asking for a handball.
We should have played that 10 minutes ago, though.
We need to go forward there. I think Udogie could have taken his space.
All the midfielders were caught up. The strikers were gone. We were on the back line. We should have went.
You're wondering what sort of runs Matisse Tell's been making then.
Well, James Madison also didn't need to come to Destiny Udogie and take that ball. He could have moved off him.
Well done, Bergval. What a challenge.
Brilliant. Head up, Madison.
Sir!
That's a free ref. Well done, Madison. Drew that well. Straight back up. That's more like it, Madison. Porro got absolutely bodied there from Doku. Jesus, he made a bitch of him. Pep Guardiola can't believe the pass from Doku there. Great.
Really under pressure.
Well done.
Good great pass from Danzo into him. Not a lot you could do with that. Well done by Gray.
Can he find a Wilson Odegaard in behind like he did against Ipswich with Sonny? Moves it on to Danzo. Adobe opens up his feet. It's a poor pass into Bentancur. That's sloppy from Destiny into Madison. Ten minutes in, though, it's not a bad start. I would say we look like...
We started really well, and Man City maybe just created a couple themselves. Couple chances.
Good game, though, so far. We're not being outplayed or... See how long we can keep this going for, though. Well done, Madison. I tell, come on, get in there, kid. Get stuck in. You pulled out there. You didn't want it. Can Tottenham get another good press on City here? Diaz moves it across all the way to Ederson. He goes into the midfield. It's a good ball. He's so free. It's over the top. Well on Archie Gray. Cuts that out as Haaland was in behind. That's brilliant. Danzo on the ball.
Nice
Danzo. Ball from Danzo to Johnson.
Nice Porro. Lovely ball by Porro there.
I don't think it was the best ball.
Can he get his head up? That was lovely stuff from everybody involved in this. Tough passes to receive, but great decision making in possession each time.
Well
Lovely
done,
from
Gray.
Gray.
Good composure there.
Really good composure from a lot of people this
Oh,
game.
it's a good ball over the top.
Oh, just a little
Oh,
heavy.
can Madison get there? Oh, unlucky.
A
It's a
little
good
heavy.
idea from Rodrigo Bentancur or from Porro. Unlucky. Good idea. Stop smiling. Execute next time. It's a good run, though. He's on as well. Oh, it's just a tad over here. It's a sloppy ball out. Can we get that? Well done.
Danzo
Unlucky
out of position
Danzo.
here.
Someone's got to get in and cover for him. Take it out. Johnson, come on. You're just running to no one. Porro up against Doku. Doku puts it across. Alan scores. It's 1-0. Fuck's sake. Oh.
Felt like
Johnson just
lazy tracking back. It felt
I
like
don't want to pick on the guy, but he doesn't get out there and help Porro. He just runs into a position nowhere near to get out there and help Pedro Porro whatsoever.
Yeah, and he doesn't get the foot in. Once he cuts inside Pedro Porro there, he doesn't get the foot in either. Pedro Porro, though, has been torn apart by Doku, as a lot of people expected.
And he's on side as well. Yeah, Porro hasn't dealt well with Doku at all.
Porro has been good in possession, I'd say, but he's not been...
But just look at Johnson here, right? He doesn't get back to really help him at all. You know, he's sort of caught jogging, ball watching. There, that's where you want him sprinting back.
He should have already, he could have been in front of that.
He could have put a lot more pressure on that player there. He doesn't. He allows the ball
in front of this. He's too lazy.
It's lazy.
As well. I think it is lazy. He doesn't actually really bust a gut. And he's actually just inches away from both times being able to get in front. Both times he could have gotten in front of it. He could have gotten to that in front of that pass of Nico Gonzalez, I think it is for them, or whichever midfielder it was. And then probably could have maybe busted maybe just a bit harder to then.
But that ball into the midfielder, if he busts his gut there and puts a bit more pressure on him, he doesn't. He's just sauntering back, jogging back.
He doesn't really break like, the same pace, if you know what I mean, everybody. Like he kind of just runs back in the same sort of effort, the entire time. Doesn't really ever see the danger. And then actually start, running back with an actual sprint. I agree, Dave. It's not the biggest call out or anything, but if you want to say the goal was preventable, that's how it's preventable. That's how
it is. For me, I think it's right to call it out. He doesn't do anywhere near enough to recognize the danger and bust the gut. He just doesn't. He's going back at half pace. I'm sorry, it has to be called out. Don't get me wrong, Porro's got to do a lot better against Doku, but that initial ball to the midfielder, he's jogging back. He's got to do more to cut that out and recognize the danger. He just doesn't. Anyway, let's try and reset and go again. Udeberg tries to flick it around the corner, doesn't come off. Oh, we don't even deserve to be one down either. That's the thing.
Okay, this guy's more of a love obsession.
Yeah.
I was like gonna say.
He loves Hannah more than you do.
Wasn't even doing anything. Danzo and Porro. He's got a Pep Guardiola fetish as well, this guy. This cameraman.
Danzo. Onto Archie Gray. Can we find that out ball? Onto Destiny. Ref, you managed to hold him onto Madison. He's not even nowhere near the ball. Bergval. Good ball out to Porro.
Someone make a run.
Oh, Porro.
I mean, that's just, again, to no one.
To no one. You either got to put a bit of bend out of it to bend it back in towards Johnson's part, or a bit of bend to put it into Tell's part. It's another straight out ball. Come on, Tottenham.
Get there, you do. Oh no.
He slipped.
Savio's gotten on the inside of him. Just carrying it into midfield.
Look at the goal, Porro side again.
Doku now. I think it's Gavardiol, Kovacic. And City's starting to get a lot more control into the game. Spurs, like I said, started brightly. Spurs started brightly, but City kind of sort of got themselves back into it and took their chance.
Yeah. Wow, great
Good challenge
challenge.
from Madison. Good tracking back as well.
No, Bergvall
Oh no.
slips. Madison again. Bergvall comes out with it.
Madison has
Brilliant.
gotten stuck in tonight.
Yeah.
He's not really flukes or anything, too. He's really putting a foot in.
Yeah, no, he's done well. Gray.
Not, you know what I mean, 50-50 sort
Yeah.
of, or like
No, he's
pulling
done well.
out. You're not
He's getting
pulling
in there.
out
He's
like
getting
we
stuck
see
in.
sometimes. Sometimes, the divas, like to pull out of the challenge.
Yeah, no, he's having a good game in terms of in that getting stuck in. Man City are setting up with this blanket four in front, and we're having trouble to try and
There
play
we
through
are.
it. It's good out ball, though, to Wilson Odegaard. Can he produce a bit of magic here?
Nice.
Look at the front him up. Gets it across. It's a corner kick. See if we can get a better delivery in here than the first one. Handball there. They're never going to give it, though, because it's so close. But
off the chest, maybe. Yeah.
Off the chest, fair.
Take this corner, and then we'll get to Artist. Good to see you, Artist.
Big up Artist. And then Archie Gray having some verbals.
Put it away. Out for a Spurs throw-in. Artist T saying it continues to be amazing how every team can pass and just dribble through our midfield with zero resistance.
Well, no, 100%. Look, I sort of understand what you're saying. I do think Madison and Bergvall and Vertico have been trying to get stuck in. But if it's in reference to that goal, for me, it's all about Brennan Johnson. You know, your players sometimes do get dragged out of position. But that's where you need someone like Johnson to recognise it, muck in, and get back and help one of his teammates out and, get after it with a bit of aggression. He doesn't. He just jogs back and doesn't realise the danger. But look, the midfield is becoming a huge problem. We do need to try and find that right combination. You look at the amount of combinations we've played in there in just 2 years here, due to injuries, suspensions, or whatever. We have no real consistency in there in terms of team selection. It is becoming a bit of a problem. I do agree, Harris.
And there are games when it does feel like, there are periods where, the midfield is just getting run through, either bypassed or just run through very, very easily for different reasons. Johnson here.
Don't you start.
Well, there's Gareth Bale.
But the thing is, right, what drives me mad is Bergvall's marauding forward with the ball. Why are you coming towards him? Use your pace, go in behind and let him play you in behind. Well done, good play by a doggy. Odegaard picks it up. Madison picks it up. It's good. Oh, it's just overhit.
Good run from Johnson.
Good idea. It is a good run from Johnson, to be fair. It's a good idea, just overhit.
A few of those tonight. Overhit passes, especially the ones
it's coming,
in the air.
though. It's coming.
Just
gotta keep the faith.
Yeah.
Somebody being told to get to warm up already. It's not good. That's if he's been told. Maybe I'm making it up. See if we can get the press on here. Come on. Well on, Tal.
Nice,
Go on,
Tal.
Tal. Well done,
Someone
Tal.
help. Oh.
Someone help him.
Jack need to get the flag cap on back at.
Oh.
Go get the flag.
Stalker up against Porro here again. He's just cut inside way too easy. Someone get a fucking foot in, please. He's just gone through 6 of them. Gets the shot off.
Good save, Vic. Good save.
He's just gone through 6 of them there.
Yeah, skin the whole team. Team looks gassed.
No, I don't think it looks gas. I just think maybe that goal, Jesus Danzo, sort of well on Gray. Sort of shook them a little bit. They're just trying to get a foothold back in the game. I will say that front 4 or 5 of Man City, or 6, whatever it is doing a very good job not allowing us to have them out balls. If you look at it, one sitting on Bergvall all the time. Doku's coming in to try and block off the pass for Porro. Haaland and Mamouche are sitting up there trying to get pressure on. So we are going to have to start playing long balls like this. It's a good idea. Just it's well cut out by the City fullback. Oh no, Porro's caught out of position here. It's Stoker running at the back line. He's just running at Archie Gray here. Bentancur's trying to get across and support him. Well done, Rodrigo Bentancur. That's fucking brilliant.
What a challenge.
That is absolutely brilliant. Bergvall,
Nice
good ball
pass
to
from
Bentancur.
Bergvall.
Into Tell.
Can't get
Tell.
under control. Come on, lad. Oh, he
Come on,
gets a
Matisse.
foul, though.
Wins a free kick. That'll do. How is Doku allowed to go through 4 or 5 players there? That's disgraceful. Good save by Vicario. Tyler says, what the F, Tal? Ed Sweating says, Bentancur saves Porro. You're absolutely spot on there. Absolutely. People saying we are missing Jed Spence.
Nice tell. Simplified it there with just a first-time pass and a Bentancur. It's hard to say Bentancur then Bergvall sometimes.
Yeah. Change it up to Sauceval or Benton class, lad. Good flick there by Benton class or Bergvall. There you are. An example. Bergvall. Oh, just play it to Bentancur. You didn't need to do that.
Oh, what a challenge. Yeah,
I don't tell. Fuck off, ref. Doku on the ball again, plays it back. All the way back to Ederson. Come on, Tal. We need a bit more enthusiasm on the press here, buddy. Let's go, Udeber. Tries to get the press on, forces City to go long. Archie Gray, does he win that? He
like
does.
He went off Holland.
I think he came off Archie Gray. Haaland flicked it on. He came off Archie. Starting to lose our way in this game a little bit here. Haaland giving instructions to Marmouche. See, just popping it around now. They're starting to look a little bit more comfortable here. Is that Kovacic in there, that number 8, Jack?
Yeah. Number 8 is Kovacic.
He's having a good game for them. Oh, Porro gets done again. Gets 2 overzealous there. Haaland plays it in behind from Marmouche.
Udogie does well. Very good recovery there.
Oh, Gray, well done. Out to Porro. Porro really needs to start manning up here. It's a shit ball to Brennan Johnson.
Just go backwards. Go back to Gray there. If it's not on, then Porro, just go back to Gray.
It's brilliant from Udogie on the recovery run there, actually. It's what we wanted Brennan Johnson to do 20 minutes ago to save that goal. Danzo, good ball into Madison. Great touch and turn. Creates a bit of space. Good ball into Bergvall. He just hooks it on to nobody. Can Johnson get there? He can't. Oh, Bergvall. Good defending by Vardiol. Bentancur to Porro. Back to Gray. Trying to sucker them in here. Trying to force Man City to come out and trying to pop it round them. Destiny Udogie plays it forward into Udeber.
Gets bullied.
Gets bullied really there.
Could have been a foul, but hard to say.
Try and mop it up.
Oh, well done.
Well done. Fuck, it just never bounces our bloody way. Why can't that bounce in behind Kuzmov? Man City throw in here, 25 minutes in, they go backwards. It's pumped long. Well done, Destiny. Well done, Bentancur.
Wow, what a challenge.
Bentancur on Haaland.
Yeah,
that's
great
brilliant.
Challenge from Bentancur.
Bergvall, Porro's gone. He was never going to get that. That's where you need Johnson to show he doesn't. Bergvall goes across to Danzo. Gray. Can Danzo find that ball forward? He's looking, man. This setup for Man City,
playing.
it's very good. They're not really giving us too many options. They're taking out the midfield, which means we're struggling a bit. Tal, good touch.
Nicely
Good ball
done,
out to
Mad.
Udabar.
Can you find Udogi? Take us forward. There you go, kid. Nice tell.
Gets dispossessed. Right. Bentancur picks it up. Good ball out to Porro.
All right, need some movement in front of him.
Oh, come on. You're right. It's so static. Comfortable from Danzo.
Yeah.
Bentancur. Good ball in over top for Johnson. Can he get there? No, it's just a tad on it again. It's a good idea, though. It's much better from Bentancur. He's having a really good game, actually, Bentancur. It's a good run by Johnson as well.
I don't think the midfield is... I understand, like, Artist T's point. Like, I think sometimes tactically it does feel like we just get run through very easily, but I wouldn't even say that Bergvall, Madison, Bentancur have been that poor, actually.
I don't think they have been poor. I think they've been good to a large degree. It's ball hits 3-0. Oh, my God, we're so lucky he's missed that one.
That's a sitter.
Where's Udogi? Is Udogi being caught napping there?
Should be 2-0. Sorry, everybody. We were chatting about something else there.
Jeez, we got away with that. Doku again down the right-hand side causing massive
holds
problems.
It up, finds, I think, not Marmouche, but Nico Gonzalez, who plays it out wide to Doku.
Danzu and Udogi caught sleeping there. Both of them caught up the field. We got away with that one big time.
Could have even taken a touch if he wanted to, Savio.
Yeah, he should have. He was leaning back when he hit it almost. Got away with that. We've got to try and go up the other end and score now and punish them. No, we are Spurs TV. It's not a do-rag. It's a hat that Jack wore last week, and
and I don't have
4-1.
And I'm not sick or anything either anymore. I did have a fever last time. That was the reason that I did wear it. This time it's more for shits and gigs. But I'm probably going to take it off at halftime if we go 2-0 down.
Jack's feeling like a hippie. Wants to save trees. Go on, Destiny. Oh, come on. Someone else help him.
Bad last 15 minutes. Good first 10.
Johnson, will you bust the gut, man? He's jogging again. We are having huge troubles down this right-hand side, and it's twofold. Kovacic. Kusanov pumps it in behind again. Sure, Danzo.
Can Danzo deal with it? Well done.
No way, like, you know.
Well done.
Well done, Danzo.
Sir, he's just pulled his leg back.
Well, it's too easy again. It's too easy. Well done, Bentancur or Madison. Again in behind Porro. Fuck me. My God, you need to get Porro off at halftime. He's been absolutely rinsed out there.
Okay, sir, that's 2 fouls there from...
You need to get Porro off. He can't deal with
it. That's a foul on Danzo. They fouled Danzo.
Yeah, that's a foul.
He pulled his leg back, and the lino was right there to see it.
That's a brilliant challenge there by Madison. Again, where's Porro? Fucking hell. Oh, no, it's Doku again. Please stop this. It's becoming a nightmare on 54th Street.
Odebear, can he... Good pass from Odebear? Or no?
It's the only ball he could play out there,
yeah,
really.
He did well, actually. If only someone...
Fuck me, Porro's getting skinned like a cat out there.
Yeah. Good save from Vic.
It is a good save from Vic, actually. We should have given him more credit there. I should have. I'm just too worried about Pedro Porro at this moment in time, Jack.
No, I haven't even thought about the Vic saves until now. The fact that he actually has saved all these. Or except for Savio's, I guess, one over the bar.
Our press isn't really working either. No one's really doing anything with enthusiasm here. How's Danzo being caught that far up? Brilliant challenge again from Madison. Fuck off, ref. And that's not even a yellow. That's disgraceful.
Oh my God, it's the cleanest challenge of the match.
It's a brilliant challenge from Bentancur. That's disgrace. He's smiling. He looks up for this Bentancur.
I mean, he's a guy that does. Let's be honest. Doesn't really get the rub of the green with injury, or I guess in that situation.
Come on, Tal. Show some enthusiasm on the fucking press, will you? He's just jogging about. This is not what we're used to seeing from Solanke. It's a long ball. It's in behind. The dog is caught up the field here. Savio's on it. Haaland's getting towards the back post. They're looking to put it back here.
Slipped.
No. He gets greedy.
Good block from Danzo. We're still under the cosh here. Nunes.
Why are you standing there? Get out.
Pedro clears it. There? Haaland was at the back post.
It's another ball by Doku.
Well done, lad. Well done. Very good punch.
It's like my whole world lapsed there for a minute. Oh, well done, Adogi.
Madison, good turn as well.
Done. Draws the free. Well done. That's a yellow card.
That's a yellow card. That's a yellow
if you're giving Bentancur one, come on. At least Bentancur touched the fucking ball. Someone says change your boots, Adogi. You keep slipping. Fair point.
Few people have.
No. They're coming at us again. It's just wave after wave now.
Oh, Marmouche
does Danzo.
Yellow card.
Yeah, that is a yellow. Does Danzo there. It's just wave after wave now. Oh, I don't know how much of a yellow that actually is, actually. He's got Danzo's jersey up by his fucking head. Oh, we need halftime badly.
Earlier, Paul Markey with a super chat saying, keep telling you guys Johnson is a waste of space, period. Get him out and put Kulu in. It's just the combination of Poro.
He's done that today.
The combination of Poro and Johnson is just disaster. It's just disaster.
Yeah.
Johnson doesn't help him out by working hard enough, literally ever, and doesn't have any desire to defend. And then Poro doesn't really know how to defend, and it's a terrible combination.
He's done nothing in possession either. He's done absolutely zero in possession going forward. The only time you see him actually bust a gut is when the ball's out the left-hand side. Defensively, again, he doesn't bust a gut. He could have helped to try and prevent the goal. He didn't, And this keeps going back to what people keep calling out about him, saying if he's not getting on the end of someone else's good work, what does he do? To go for goal here, it's a good block.
And it's just led to it being a bad combo. Bad combo. I don't know if it's
not good enough
sustainable anymore.
Oh, Regulon. Dean Scarlett looks pissed off. I would say get your head in the game.
Tell has had periods too where I'm questioning. Like, I think sometimes I've seen maybe he's made a decent run, but at other times he's not actually making that great of a run. He should be open. If you have this, there's been times where if he made the right run, he would be open, and that's the thing. He's not even always picking the right channels.
Yeah.
And I'd agree what you brought up earlier. Like, he doesn't seem to be either in shape to be able to do the pressing like Richarlison or Solanke do, or he doesn't have that sort of in him.
Or he just doesn't want to do it. Sometimes
it's one or the other.
Willingness.
We don't know enough about him yet to know which one it is, but at least we know he isn't pressing.
Referee, get out the way. You give him a yellow card, you fucking pillock.
Give yourself a yellow card.
We were true there. He's lining that one up to Poro in the middle. You all know how that was going to end. He was going to bury that one in.
You are right, though. The Jared Gillette yellow card for Bentancur, and then just refuses to give one for some of the city challenges that I have seen that have broken up play.
Here we go. Johnson on the ball. Yeah. Backwards. It's a good ball from Archie Gray over the top. Unlucky for Madison. It was a good idea. Come on, Danzo. Come on. Well done, 50 Cent. Good
Okey-dokey.
touch, Destiny. Great fucking touch. Come on, Udebur. This is your time. You've got time and space now. This is your bag. Ref,
Sir!
that's a yellow card. That is a yellow card. You better pull that one out. You better pull that out your pocket. Oh my God, he's not even going
He
to.
refuses. He has no
Oh
yellow
my
card
Lord.
for Man
The whole
City.
Spurs bench is
He has
going
none.
mad how he's not pulled out a card here.
He's not a
Even
single. How
Madison's
many
asking
times
the
have we seen
question.
Madison appeal for a yellow card at this stage? How many times
Yeah.
have we seen Madison appeal for a yellow card?
That's a joke. He didn't know Kuzanov was there to protect them. Who's changing their boots here? Destiny. People were right. He needs to change the boots. Come on, Madison. We've got to take matters into our own hands today. The referee ain't going to help us. He ain't going to book players. He only does that to Tottenham. I think he's going to whip this one. He's asking for people to go and try and get in front of this if my signal calls are correct.
Big Dave wants to be on the end of it.
I'd love it. Yep, I was right.
Wilson, bad touch. Well done,
Well done.
Bentancur.
Well done, Rodrigo. Oh, Rodrigo, ref. Now that's a yellow. That's the second one. Pull it out now. Oh, he's given another excuse not to give it. I don't believe it.
To apologize to Kovacic.
I don't believe it. He's given another excuse on why
How many
not to give it.
challenges does he have to ride?
He's just stopped his momentum. He was balling out. He's pulling off a Maradona there. Come on, ref. I don't believe he hasn't booked any of them. That's 3 cynical challenges on the break.
I've seen them take us down in so many different ways this game. I'm surprised not a single one has been a yellow. They've taken us down in not every single way you can. I've seen shirt pulls. I've seen arm pulls. I've seen, just gliding into them. It's amazing, really.
Come on, Madison. Another
Danzo had his leg pulled back.
I know. It's disgusting. Another flat delivery here. It is. He's gone for goal. Oh, Danzo's so close. It's agonizingly close. Well done, Destiny. He's got new boots. He's feeling good. With that one. Bergvall. Good ball to Madison. On to Destiny. Oh.
Nice.
Let's see if we can go down the right-hand side for a change. That'd be nice. Johnson separates a few yards here. Oh, my fucking Lord. I am sick of it. I am sick of him. Oh, good touch.
Lovely.
Someone make a run.
Oh, Danzo didn't know it was for him. Wilson, take your space, son. Well done, lad.
This is all you. Good ball. Oh, playing back. So negative.
Oh, see him again. Oh, he was in there. He was in a little pocket there.
Porro. Onto Gray. Back to Danzo. City trying to get on the press here. Danzo into Bergvall. Good ball back by Bergvall there. Brilliant fucking ball back.
Good touch, Vic.
Pressure. Big up, Polly Cooper. Good to see you. Dennis Daly as well. Good to see you, Dennis. How are you keeping? King Huddle says Uda Bear has very quick feet. People saying this is much better. We're starting to get a foothold back in the game anyway, at least. See if we can do something in possession. Be nice to see if we can attack down this right-hand side and not be so predictable. It's a ball in behind here onto Brennan Johnson. It's over here yet again. Fuck me. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Five minutes left.
Ref, what happened to the 30-second rule? Do we not employ that anymore? Is that gone?
Well done,
Brilliant
Wilson.
Tackle. Don't you dare. Oh, my. He's embarrassing. This referee's actually embarrassing himself. How's he blowing that? I don't understand. The guy needs to go to fucking Specsavers. He hates Tottenham. He actually hates us.
I think he hates Ange. You wonder if he just has to play it up. He's like, I can't let them accuse me of Aussie bias.
I'm surprised he didn't put out a yellow card there.
He's hating on his own, everybody.
Come on, let's get after this ball. There's a goal here for us today. Someone please press. I'm begging. Kovacic again drops deep. If Madison could just get a little bit more pressure on Kovacic. Go on, Bergvall. Oh, great touch. Come on, Rodrigo. It's all you. I think you want the power to take it. Initially, you didn't. Oh, we're in trouble here. We are in trouble here. Doku's just going to carry that.
Down, lad. He's just waiting for Pedro.
Yeah, he's just waiting. Well done, Madison. Good effort. Come on, dog. Get to Savio. He's nowhere near your level. Oh, come on, Odegaard. You got to track that, man. You got to track that. That's better. Man City just working it down this left-hand side of dog, and he's vacated. Well done, Rodrigo Bentancur. That's brilliant reading of the game. He's furious. He's absolutely furious with a doggy and that. It's brilliant reading of the game. He's the man.
Just both fullbacks just getting torn.
Yeah. We need to get Spence on at halftime.
Udogie, not nearly as much. But
nowhere nearly as much. Nowhere near as much.
But
he is getting ripped at times.
It's not been pretty on that side either.
We need to get Spence on. And I'd argue Johnson's a contender to come off at halftime as well. He's done absolutely zilch. Well done, Danzo. It's fucking brilliant. I love him. I'm going to kick my missus out of the bed and bring Danzo in. Get out. Oh, come on, Spurs. Let's try and conjure some magic here. Don't start screaming at others for options. You've done nothing, Burrow.
Nice
Good
pass.
Ball out. Bentancur, great ball. Let's go. Come on, Destiny.
Udogie, take your space. Get rid of it.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Come on, Udi. Come on, Udi.
Wilson.
Come on, Udi. Play him again. Oh.
Still Wilson. Well done.
Good ball to Bergvall. This is where Johnson could come into it. Oh, my Lord. Oh, he is so ineffective. It's unbelievable.
First touch just says it all to me. The first touch, he literally almost
can't even go across it.
He nearly lost it on the first touch.
It's like babysitting him out there. It's a joke. It's like you're playing a team and you know there's a guy in your team who's useless. You don't pass to him, and then every so often you give him a ball.
He nearly lost it on the first touch. It was a rolled ball into him going 2 miles an hour, and he nearly lost it on the first touch.
Madison. Good ball into Bentancur.
Nice.
Good ball to Bentancur to tell. Oh, go on, keep going. You got to take him.
Well done, Pedro, sir.
Ref, that's the yellow as well.
He's
dragging back. It's yellow. Come on, pull out the card.
Hell has been struggling. I agree, King Huddle.
He's done.
Hell has also been very anonymous this game. With Odegaard, it's kind of more just like he's trying. He hasn't really necessarily been that brilliant either. He is trying. He's trying things maybe more than the others are. And he's been in the game. He has. You definitely do recall, his impact.
Like he's at least trying to get up there. He's winning corners and
he's creating space. He's taking space and he's creating space, but he hasn't necessarily fastened a great chance yet. Oh, Danzo! From range. Nearly a 3-pointer.
Unlucky.
That'd be a 3-pointer, Dave. Look how far he hit this one out.
It's a great header from that far out. Oh!
The range on that one, Dave. Talk about him dropping a bomb on you.
Jesus, that's close.
A damn bomber.
Oh, yeah, imagine that, lad. Oh, it's short by Madison. It's way too short.
Fuck.
No, we're done here. It's a 5-on-2. What are we after trying there?
Oh, Matters. What are we doing?
Oh, no.
Oh, does he overhit it? Oh my Lord.
It's still not over yet, though.
Marmouche.
What did Madison try there? Don't let him get out there and put a free cross in here. Come on. Well done.
Hell clears it.
Come on, ref. Just blow it up. Let's make some changes at halftime. Some alterations.
Get there, Tell. Ah. Come on, lad. Miracle
Come
to
on,
only
ref.
be down 1-0.
That's half
And
time.
sprinting
Postecoglou
into the
running
touch.
down the tunnel. He can't wait to get in there. He's not happy with someone or something.
I mean, I think we're very lucky to only be down 1-0 here.
Yeah.
We started off very brightly. I think you have to remember that. But then since then, it's been all Man City after the first 10 minutes. And Man City scarily have actually gotten better, I'd say. It's not
Yeah.
like they, maybe took control. They really took control. And then they started to actually just run through us. We're looking capable of scoring 2-3 at one point in this game. I think you have to concede they should have at least two at halftime here. They've missed,
Yeah.
two fat sitters. And then Holland has hit into Vicario maybe 2 or 3 times as well. He's probably maybe ruining, maybe not, maybe bearing all those chances. So,
Well, Vicario's pulled off a couple of good saves there, but
Vicario's kept us in it. Yeah.
our fullbacks are getting absolutely ruined. More Porro than Destiny Udogie, don't get me wrong. Porro has been absolutely atrocious defensively. Doku's ruining them every time. Udogie over the left-hand side, it's more so that they tend to pop the ball in the middle and pop it in behind them when he launches out. So, that's where it's on someone like Huda or one of the midfielders like we've seen Bentacore trying to come across and snuff that out. Going forward, look, in possession, I think we're decent in terms of building out from the back into the midfield. But as soon as the ball touches the forward line, it's just coming back. We can't do anything with it. Don't get me wrong. Udaber's trying. He's getting on the ball, running that Kusin off. He's picked up, and whoever that elder guy is down there, Nunes, he's picked up a couple of corners, couple of free kicks down that side. Matisse Tell has offered absolutely nothing. He can't get any. He can't hold up the ball in possession, and out of possession on the press, it's half-hearted. It really is. At one stage there near the end, there was a 50-50 ball there, and I can't help but think Solanke's already anticipating that, and that's why he would get there. Matisse Tell didn't, and I don't think Matisse Tell wants it enough through that middle, to be quite frank. So I think that's something that needs to be looked at now in the second half.
Yeah.
Brennan Johnson out on the right-hand side has been fucking atrocious. He offers absolutely nothing out. The only time I see that guy sprint is when I've seen it. The ball's out on the left-hand side and he goes to sprint straight inside. Show that same enthusiasm, and we wouldn't be 1-0 down at halftime right now. People are going to say, Dave, you're just blaming Brennan Johnson. Go back and look at the goal. The ball comes to the player in midfield, and Johnson is sauntering back. He doesn't recognise the danger. A player that recognises the danger and that's hungry for that is sprinting and tries to force him backwards. He doesn't do anything. He allows that ball to be moved on, and the rest is history. And he puts out a lazy foot then when he goes to try and help Pedro Porro. But in possession, he does absolutely nothing. There's times we're breaking away. Bergvall is screaming for him to run in behind. He's running towards him going, give me the ball. Why are we giving him the ball? Because all he's going to do is pass it backwards. It's nowhere near good enough. Two of that front three is not working, and we need to make changes. We also need to haul Pedro Porro off at halftime and get Jed Spence on, because if not, this second half, Man City are going to gloss up this scoreline.
We've just been run through, it feels like, in this game, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we're very, very lucky, everybody, to only be 1-0 down. I think both sides are being taken apart. I agree with you. I think Matisse Tell has been really anonymous in this game, and then Brennan Johnson for me has also just been completely anonymous. And he's probably, I don't think we've had necessarily like great chances in this game, but I'd say maybe two of the little kind of glimpses where it was actually did follow Johnson's path, where it felt like, he had maybe a bit of space to then create a shot of some kind, because it was kind of worked for him, and then it eventually was swung out to his side, and then he just in both occasions kind of struggled to get it under control. Then once he did, the shot was blocked or the cross was blocked in his cases. So I wouldn't say, Spurs have necessarily created a whole lot, in this game, but maybe one or two of the moments that have maybe just looked like maybe we could have gotten a decent shot there, I would say it did follow Johnson's path as well. But for me, Matisse Tell, maybe the more concerning case for him is that I feel like there have been breakaways, and then you're just seeing him being marked so easily on some of his runs.
He's not making the right runs though either.
Not making the right runs, and he's being marked really easily. Like, he's just not open. That's like the frustrating thing is, Dave, you don't really see him open very much, in this game. He's kind of just covered really easily. That's a concern for me. Wilson Odebear, I don't want to praise him too much because I wouldn't say he's done anything exceptional.
It's not praiseworthy, but at least he's trying.
He's trying, and that's what I'm saying. He's trying to be positive, but I wouldn't say he's been devastating either. He's taken his space, and he's taken, his fullback, deeper, and he's been able to drive us up the pitch, but wouldn't say he's done much else apart from that, other than kind of just getting us up the pitch really in periods. The midfield, to be honest, for me, last thing here, the midfield, I don't really think has been the main issue. I think we are getting torn through. I think that's kind of a bit of the tactics really at times, but also it's just, Madison for me. I think I'm seeing effort from Madison. I think he's trying to get stuck in. sometimes he's overcooking some of these passes. Maybe in possession, his quality hasn't necessarily been there.
Mm.
Bentancur, I think, is trying. I think he's gotten
I think
stuck
he's been
in.
good today.
I think he's gotten stuck in on a number of occasions, Dave. Maybe again, like sometimes the quality in possession, wouldn't say he's been poor, but maybe not. Sometimes, yeah, some overcooked
Look, the middle
passes
isn't
here and
our
there. It's just been that ball over the top that's been overcooked a lot for us in this
the,
game.
the middle hasn't been our problem. Danzo and Gray have dealt with a lot of everything to large effect. The three midfielders, I think, are having decent games in there. They're mucking in. They're getting in possession. They've been decent. They're not really losing the ball, but out of possession, they're getting in there and looking to fight. I think the main issue for us is actually out wide defensively and going forward through the middle and the right hand side. They're the areas that need to be fixed at half time. And it's simple. You either give them a bollocking, you look at their body language, you're around them every day, you know whether they're responding or not. If not, you make a change. Quite simple as. I think we need to get Sonny in the game very, very quickly. I think we need to get Kudu in the game very, very quickly. And I think we need to get Spence in the game very, very quickly. Look, the idea is you don't want to keep relying on these guys to come on and bail you out. But if we don't, this is going to get worse. And I would argue Man City are there for the take. And it's not like defensively they're tight or they're solid. We just haven't asked anywhere near enough questions of them. So for me, I do think this is an occasion where Postecoglou needs to act at halftime and make a couple of changes. You could already see when the referee blew the whistle, Ange nearly tripped. He was trying to run down the tunnel that quick, which shows he's not happy with something. He's obviously not happy with the referee as well, don't get me wrong. You know, he booked Bentancur very, very easily and then let Man City away with 3 challenges, putting us down on the breakaway, one after another with no yellow card. But that's where it needs to be solved. The front line from the middle out to the right and the 2 fullback situation. Solve that, we can get back in this game.
100%. I'm going to get to some people in the chat here. Really, really generous support, by the way, came in from Rob Wallace. Rob gifted out 20 memberships. Wow. Thank you very much, Rob.
Big
He's
up,
gifted
Rob.
out to Al C, Sports Lover, Chris Baum, Francis Reynolds, Real Coys, Jess Arnold, Steve D, pick up Steve D, SDFC Benny, Eddie, Anthony Colin, The Sky is Fallen, PH Family, would love to chat to you, Davo, Leave B, Edward, Mr. Crazy D, Jackson D Silva, Jessica, Fake Isaacs, and then George Kadaris. Rob, super generous, man. And
Big
please,
up,
everybody,
Rob.
would love for you guys to take advantage of it. You know, I think fan shows are, something that we do kind of uniquely over here, and a lot of people get good crack out of it and get a lot of enjoyment. We have a real community over there, so we'd love to have some debuts be made. And please, as well, do thank Rob in the chat if you can, everybody. It's very, very generous.
Yeah, big up, Rob. Very, 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 very kind of you, my man. I really appreciate the support. You know, even more so when we're 1-0 down at halftime and stuff like that. So big up, Rob. Very, very kind of you, my man. And hopefully people make best use of it. You're very good at dishing out the memberships.
And if you have a comment or anything, Rob, we'd be happy to talk about it or bring it up on screen. But as always, man, really generous of you. Hollywood Hotspur, Dave saying Lolo and Vicario are the only players that can hold their heads high right now. I think we were saying Madison maybe to a degree as well. I don't think he's been that poor, to be honest. The midfield has tried hard. Certain players have really tried hard this game, Hollywood Hotspur, but then others wouldn't say the same, to be honest. I think there has been a mixed effort, in terms of some of the players and really, really poor quality as well. And it's I don't think it's personally, Bentancur's fault sometimes in midfield. Some people think it is, but I personally don't think it is.
I actually think Bentancur's been absolutely brilliant in that midfield, especially getting around, making a nuisance of himself, breaking up, playing possession. I think he's been really good. He tried to play a lovely ball over to Johnson. It was just maybe a smidge over hit, but I think Bentancur's been brilliant. Vicario's been very good in goals. One thing that we did miss in his absence was pulling off some of these saves to keep us in the game. With Kinski in there, shot stopping was maybe a little bit of a weakness of his. I think they've been brilliant. But I think Danso and Gray have been very good, especially Danso. I think he's been absolutely brilliant out there again.
Yeah.
I think Madison and Bergval either side, I think have been brilliant as well. I just think it's certain areas. That right-hand side is a huge problem, and up front is a massive, massive problem for me. I think the obvious solutions are quite obvious. You bring on Son, you bring on Kulusevski, you bring on Spence. It's a bit dramatic to do all 3 at halftime, but they're the obvious ones that need to be fixed right from the offset. I think right now, like what you're seeing towards the end of the half is we're coming very predictable. Man City, you're getting numbers over on Udogie and Udebur when they're breaking away. They leave Johnson free because they know we're never attacking down that side. This is something I tried to bring up in the pre-match build-up. It's something that Johnson needs to add to his game so that we have different dimensions. We're not so readable, that when that ball does go down the right-hand side, we still possess a massive threat. But look, I do agree with them. They'd probably be the two standout, but all that Bergvall and Madison have been good, and Danzo's been brilliant.
And then also DG saying halftime subs. They
Yeah,
try to get Poro and Johnson off. Definitely at
that
least
has to
one of
happen
them.
straight away.
And then to some degree, I'd probably be looking to see if you could make, a change up front with either Matisse Tell or again, kind of someone of Johnson, maybe up front. I think there needs to be some sort of switch up there because it's been pretty poor and anonymous. I think you go from there after that, TG. Really appreciate the support
We
coming
love
in.
DJ.
Jerome saying we are playing with 10 men on that pitch because Tell is completely anonymous. When I said that about the guy, I got pelters for even saying it. Jerome, I didn't think you were as harsh as I think I probably did you a disservice maybe with the thumbnail making it sound like you're really harsh because you came off pretty calmly to me and your fan cam, but I'd agree with you. I think Tell has just been anonymous and like the way that he's just been marked, kind of been marshaled very very easily, and then when he does get possession, he's kind of losing it kind of easily too. The touch has been a bit off, kind of some of the, kind of maybe sort of first control, the composure is just not really there
Mm.
from him either. So I'd agree with you, Jerome. He's been anonymous. We're still going to give him, I think, lots of time to settle in, but you have to judge it off of what you're seeing. You have to judge it off what you're seeing. And sometimes it's like that, Jerome, when you go early. Sometimes it's like that, it can be that way, but I know you got thick skin
Look,
about it, sir.
Matisse Tell was never the right signing to make in January in the first place. It was never the right signing to make. For whatever reason, we can't seem to get some of our forward players, the signings that we're making, right. But I don't want to make this all about Matisse Tell. I get people are going after Matisse Tell. But honestly, has Brendan Johnson done anything more? People are brutally on. I know people are going to say, Dave, you're just harping on about Johnson. But why is he evading criticism? I even look at the chat there now. He's evading criticism. He's done absolutely nothing. He's been as anonymous as Matisse Tell. But look, Matisse Tell was never the right sign in the first place, Jerome. And plus he's not a striker. He's just not a Premier League striker. He's more of a winger for me. And again, we keep doing this. We're signing strikers to play out wide and we're signing wingers to play up front. What are we doing here? This is a real problem. For me, that forward line needs another overhaul in the summer. Is it going to happen? I'm not quite so sure. Look at the money we've already spent on it, but it's still not right. So it still needs more investment. And I hope we don't sanction that money to bring Matisse Tell in here long term.
And then I do see Shawnee and Artist T. I'll get to you guys in just a moment. But please, everybody, do check at the top of the chat. NordVPN, we do have a deal with them for these watch-alongs and for these game days. If you are struggling to maybe find, a good stream, or maybe you're in a different country, different location, and you normally are able to watch maybe your stream back home and you can't. If you do have a VPN, you can move yourself back home to your different country if you're on vacation sometime. I know a lot of people are going to warm weather countries to escape the cold right now, or you might be on business somewhere and you're in a different country and you're watching the Spurs game while you're in the hotel or maybe at the pub or something and the game isn't on. You can have a VPN, move yourself back home and be able to watch the game. And also in some cases, you can even save some money. Maybe you're in the UK and you're looking to try to save some money and being able to watch all these Spurs games. You can do that with a VPN as well, in case, you wanted to browse, Netflix again, while you're on vacation or in a different country. You can be able to use your own Netflix account, your own HBO, that sort of thing, without having to, watch maybe, let's say, you're on vacation in Mexico or something. You don't have to watch the Mexican, Netflix or HBO. But if you're into that sort of thing, you can also do that, in your home country. Tons of different ways to use it. And then last and certainly not least, anytime you're on a public Wi-Fi, coffee shop, you're at the airport, that type of thing, there can be ways that people can get to your data, steal your info. You don't want that to happen. A VPN can make things more secure for yourself that way. Also need one account. You can share it up to 10 devices. And there's a good, kind of saving money that way. So you don't have to buy multiple accounts or anything. Share it amongst the whole family, I think up to 10 devices. And if you get yourself a 2-year plan, get 4 extra months free using our code FLATCAP pinned at the top of the chat there. Thank you to NordVPN. And we have Shawnee in here, Dave. 18 months as an elite member. Thank you very much, Shawnee. Hopefully you're enjoying your winter training. Hopefully you're enjoying the skiing right now. And he's saying the system is getting picked apart, that we are overloading the midfield, then hitting the diagonal balls to the wing, cutting back to the forwards, and just playing into Pep's hands. I think he's maybe harping on that part of, those big diagonals, to Jeremy Doku, especially, right? It's kind of just pulling us apart. And Pep has done that in previous games. I remember Kyle Walker, one of those games was really just sort of going for that big long ball, out to Doku. So Sean just thinks, Pep Guardiola has a number on Ange, I guess.
No, look, I think you can make that argument. For me, I think what the big problem is, Sean, is you're looking at their two wingers. They're hugging the touchline. Destiny Udogie and Porro don't want to go out that far. They're often
Yeah.
tucking right in beside the centre backs. So when that ball's played out there, they've got so much room to take it down and run at us. And that's where the exposure is. For me, I think you've got to maybe see the problem is if you're playing 1-6 and 2-8, which is what we're doing, you're going to leave gaps if you do get Pedro Porro or Dogi to go out there and go man for man, which is what I think should happen. But that's there when you need to ask Bergval and Bentancur to play as a double pivot, use Madison as a number 10. And then that way, you can cover them spaces that will be left there. But I don't think Postecoglou's going to do that because in possession, it works well having Madison and Bergval there in the midfield as two outballs. But that's the biggest problem is they're hugging the touchline. Our fullbacks are tucking in. So I think one change that needs to be made is ask them to go out there and do one-on-one and be brave about it.
100%. Thank you very much, Sean. 18 months elite member. Been a wonderful addition to our community, sir, and to the FIFA plan as well. Artist T Dave saying Ange deserves scrutiny for this lineup. Why rest against City and not Ipswich or AFC Bournemouth? This team especially, that front line couldn't break down AFCB. Which team was AFCB? I think that was. Did we have a stronger lineup available against Bournemouth and he didn't go against it? I could be wrong on that.
No,
Ange deserves scrutiny though. He's just saying, why rest now?
Look, I understand what people are saying to a large degree, right? And I can understand, about. But Ange did say he was going to rest individuals coming into this game in the pre-match press conference. He said it. He says that I am going to protect some players. I will make changes. He did tell people it was going to happen. But I would also argue, look, I said in my predicting lineup, I think you pick Porro up against Doku, you're asking for a nightmare, which is exactly what's turned out today. But it wasn't so long ago where people were calling Ange stubborn. He won't make changes, this, that, and the other. Now people are not basing him for making changes. And this is what I say. As a Spurs fan, what do you want? Once we know what people want, because we can't keep chopping and changing. So when the manager does something that people are asking for, then you revert back to the other type and go, well, why is he doing it? You know what I mean? We can't keep doing that around Ange Postecoglou. Many people have asked for rotations and changes. Now, of course, it comes into why didn't he maybe make more changes against Ipswich than Man City today, which I can fully understand. If that's the talking point, that way I can understand that one. Maybe he's picked the wrong games there, to be fair, RSD. That's where I think I sort of reconcile with the point you're making.
I didn't have as much issue with the rotation for today personally, RSD. I see the Europa League game as being more important. I mean, I do see the point as well, though, like that you're making about, which opponent, should you be going with the stronger lineup for? I do see that. Just me personally, I have to hold my hands up and be honest and say I didn't have a huge issue with the rotation to begin with, but maybe it might be. It's just the Poros. I think the Porro Johnson combination, if anything, has to be really looked at now. He can't be doing that again, just with no real changes and in terms of either setup tactically, or he has to find a way to get one of them to be motivated enough. Odegaard trying, nearly winning a pen.
Yeah. I think it comes down to what We Are Spurs TV is saying, though. You don't rotate against Man City. You go with your best team, and that's where I sort of agree with the, RST, We Are Spurs TV. It's the wrong game to do the rotations, if you know what I mean. Like, to not play Jed Spence against City is criminal. Oh, come on, someone get a foot in.
More. I think it's just not, I guess,
well, with players back now, there is going to be one player or two players every week that misses out because of the amount of players we've got now. Werner missed last week. Now, look, Mikey Moore could be a case. Maybe he's picked up an injury. We don't know. We'll find out, though, I suppose. Man City popping it around us here, though, again. It's another ball in. It's towards the back post. Doku picks it up. Big up Q7 as well. Good to see you. No changes at halftime.
Good to see you, James Watson. He was saying sun on for Johnson.
Big up, James. Good to see you as well.
And then Al C. I'm not sure we said hello to you earlier, Al C. Big up to you, sir.
Doku in possession, plays it into Kovacic.
Yeah, no changes. Skunkworks, no changes.
None at all, Skunkworks. It's irritating.
Oh,
no. Sitting in behind here. Brilliant from Destiny Udogie. What a touch on the recovery just to put him off. Good turn by Udeberg. Can he get going? Oh,
Lovely.
brilliant from Udapur.
Oh,
Brilliant from Udapur. Go on, Madison. Now's your turn.
Oh,
Ref, come on. We need a yellow at some point. Ref, we need a yellow at some point here.
He's not going to give any
Oh,
foul of
my
any
Lord.
kind. He's not going to give any foul of any kind. Jared Gillette, someone sock him.
I don't believe it. There's got to be a yellow card for Kovacic at some
He got
point.
completely pulled back by Madison. His arm was pulled all the way out of its socket nearly.
Referee's
Kovacic.
a disgrace.
And he's not even giving anything. Someone just 2-foot the ref. That's, oh, don't you dare. Of course he gives that as a foul. Who said we can't blame the ref this game? That's funny, Angeball. This one does feel like the referee. I mean, like a lot of them, though, but this one really does. Like Jared Gillette really doing himself no favors, with the. I said it before even a ball was kicked, hours before. I was like, he has not been nice to us this season. And he's really taken the cake on this one. The fact he hasn't given a single yellow card yet. Right? Has he not given a yellow card to any Man City?
No, not to City. No, he has to us. And ideally, and ironically, it's one where Bentancur won the ball cleanly.
Cleared away by Johnson. Doku, 1-on-1 with Johnson. Oh, pulls him back.
We need to make a change. Again, he just cuts in too easy there, Doku. Good ball by Porro onto Bergvall. Can we find Madison? He's still free. Or he was free. Now he's not. Move on to a doggy.
Now it's out to Wilson.
Wilson Udapur.
Take your space, kid.
Go on, Udi.
Love that.
Goes on the outside. That's bright. It's good play from
Udapur.
Madison.
Driving us up the pitch.
It's a good ball. It's good defending.
Pedro has got space.
You're never going to hit that. Pass it off. Thank you.
Danzo. That's what Wilson has been good at. He's just getting us up the pitch at least.
He's been bright.
You have to get someone to drive you up. But he's doing it without even passing it at all. He's just running at the fullback, and we just forcing that line to drop deeper and deeper.
Kulu looking ready to come on here. Come on, Kulu. Pep forgot about you. Remember that.
Well, as the sunny celebration, Kulu could bring it back.
I'd love to see him score and break Guardiola's heart here. Bentancur.
If only this was the Etihad.
Ref, that's a fucking yellow card. He's just
even better at the Etihad, Dave, as well.
That's his second or third foul here, ref. This guy alone, Nunes. Bentancur. Back to Archie. Out to Danzo. Come on, Kevin. Play him. Tries to release Tell. He does. It's a good ball. Unlucky.
Good run.
Unlucky.
Good ball.
It's more like it. We didn't know how Tell had that. We didn't know Danzo had that in his locker.
Well, lofty through ball there, yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Good press.
Go on, get after it. Don't foul.
Well done.
No way, ref. No way, ref. I don't. This referee is killing me. Yo.
This ref, man.
He is a City fan.
Oh, my God. I want to punch him.
I want to punch him. I want to elbow him so hard. A good people's elbow would sort that smile right out.
Well, he's not even stopped for anything. I mean, he's not given a card for any of the times we've had our arm pulled back.
I mean, Madison had something.
He literally didn't pull it back earlier for Madison for much worse than that. He barely even pulled his arm as well. Oh, no.
No, trouble is on the horizon here. See, you have the overload. Savio. The doggy does well to show him on the inside. It's blocked. Oh, it's a good block from Danzo. Well done, Kevin. Dougie does well to show him into the traffic there, considering the space he has. It's a free corner here from Man City. It's going to be an outswinger. Plenty of hustle and bustle going in here between Tal and Nico. Oh, it's good clearance from, I think that was Bentancur in the end. Picks it back up here. Brilliant.
Lovely Bentancur.
Come on, Wilson. Oh.
Oh, lovely touch.
It's filthy from Bentancur. Madison on the Bergwall. Danzo. Good ball back to Bergwall. Go on, Lucas. Lucas. Brilliant.
Through.
Stay on side, Tel. Fucking stay on side, Johnson. You're so far off side there. Stay on. In fact, what are you even doing in the middle? Go and support him. How can you expect Bergwall to play a ball when you're off? Good ball by Madison to Porro. Porro whips it across.
Yes!
It's in. Oh, no!
Oh, Wilson again.
Oh, Wilson Odegaard.
No.
Oh, it's a great ball in. It's a great play between Madison and Porro. It's a good ball. Everyone's on side. Tell just misses it. And Odegaard.
He's got to get on target. He's got to get it on target.
Even Tell could have got on the end of that. It's just gone by him. Oh, Odegaard.
Maybe a bit behind him. It's hard to tell. I think he needs to get that on target.
Oh, Udi.
Deserves it as well. He's been the only bright spark in that forward line. He's been the only bright spark. He deserves it.
That was the chance to change the game. It's the one we've been waiting on. Danzo. We are allergic of fucking finding the net consistently. Madison. Good ball into Bergwall. Go on, Bergwall. Explosive nature. Brilliant onto destiny. Let's get Odegaard back on the ball. He's my only hope today. Madison, good ball in behind for Rudy. It's a good ball. Does he have the strength, though? Oh, it's a corner. Well done, ref. You better.
He's caused Nunes far more problems than anybody else in that forward line.
Come on, let's get on the end of this. Big up PH family. Good to see you. Just get Spence on for Johnson. Move Spence to right back and Porro to right wing. Look, just get Spence on in general. Get Johnson off the pitch as well. Fucking two of them are doing nothing. Although that was a good cross by Porro PH family. Shame we didn't bury that. Back to Pedrito here. On to Danzo. Look at Bergwall. Porro with the delivery. Back post. It's another good one. Oh, Edison just claws it away. This player's queuing up there for it.
Love that, Madison.
Oh, he's going to book him, is he? Yeah, straight away. Yeah, of course. I mean, it is a yellow, but in terms of the standard that he set today, it's not.
No, love that. He's also gotten stuck in multiple times for us, and the referee has been a prick. So fair play by Madison. Again, I think
Madison's playing rugby there.
I approve of it. I think Madison has taken one for the team multiple times tonight.
I'm Jack Kinnicky, and I approve of that message. Win that. Oh, Danzo misses out for once. Well done, Bergwall. That's brilliant. Come on, Sauce. Ref, you just booked Madison for the same fucking thing, you twat. He's still saying play on. Someone please put me in a wrestling ring with this guy.
How hard is it, ref, to give the Man City a yellow card? How hard is it going to be?
No, I'd solve it. Just put me in a ring with the guy. Some people just need to be roughed up at times. He's one of them.
In and celebrate right in front of the ref.
I would. I'd go and pants the ref, to be honest. No, that's never a foul.
He didn't want to give that as well.
No, he didn't. It's never a foul. He gave that because he has to. Look, he's apologising. I'm sorry, Vardiol. I'm sorry. Ridiculous. Carry on. He needs to be investigated for corruption. That is so soft. We are lucky we got that one. Are you going to book him? Oh, my God. He's still not calling him over to book him and call him back. It's getting ridiculous now. All the Spurs players are asking. He's just laughing in their face. He's literally just laughing at them. I hope this angers us enough to go on and put City to the sword.
Now we're lucky City haven't taken advantage of. We might as well punch him in the mouth here. We got to get back into it somehow because City will grab a second.
Nelly 23, bring the ref to my dojo. I will tap him out. Yeah, exactly, Bush Ranger. Where is the yellow card? It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Pedro Porro, please, can we get a good delivery here? Please, I beg. Just don't overcook this. Give us a chance to get on the end of this. If anyone can do it, you can. Come on, Porro.
Danzo! Oh.
He's a threat from set pieces, Danny boy.
Damn, Zo.
Oh, if he could just direct it the way he did in the first half, probably would have went in. Oh, come on, get there. Well done, Archie. That's brilliant. That ref, that's a fucking red card. Ref, can we have a yellow on that one, please? He's come through the back of Gray. That's worse than what Bentacore and Madison got booked for. Here we go. Kulu, Spence, and Son. Kulu, Spence, and Son. Let's go. Let's have this. Come on. Archie Gray. Danzo, just go back. Well done. Vicario. Pop it into one of the midfielders. They want it. Madison and Bentacore have dropped for it. Danzo picks it up. Coming into midfield. This is what City want, though. Bentacore. Oh, well done, Bentacore. Bentacore takes it again. This is brilliant. Hopefully the subs are sparking some players into life here. Destiny. On to Madison. Now we're starting to see Spurs players sprint around. It's Wilson Odegaard again. Cuts inside. Wilson gets the shot off. It's blocked. He's dangling over the keeper. Going out for a corner kick, surely. That's not a free. Don't you dare fucking give that, referee. That's brilliant from Wilson Odegaard. He's got to stay on. You can't take him off. He's got to stay on. You got to get Johnson in.
Oh, that looked like it could have been on target.
You got to get Johnson and Ted off.
That looked like it would have been flying in.
He's had a very good game today, Odegaard going forward. He's the only one that's doing anything. Come on, let's see if we can make use of this set piece here. Come on, Danzo. There's one here for you today. Third time lucky. Pedro Porro with an outswinger. Got 3 players on the bench waiting to come on. Someone's already gone down in the area. Bergval's gone down. Penalty. Come on, VAR. Come on, VAR. Get involved. Oh, ref. That's yellow. You can't just two-hand push him like that. Oh, my God. Why don't you just invite him round for Sunday roast? Be done with it, please. Come on, Porro. Good delivery here. Come on, Danzo. Straight on the end of this.
Bentacore.
Oh, unlucky. Just couldn't get on it. He's frustrated with himself there.
Jump first. Oh, I hit him in the shoulder.
Oh.
Him and Danzo are probably, the threats.
Danny Darko says, love Jack playing with his invisible beard.
It's a lot of white hairs and blonde hairs.
King Alden says, Wilson is a star, I'm telling you.
And ginger beard as well. Ah!
Oh, Bentacore.
Oh.
I'm telling you, we're just not going to score today.
Oh, he made great connection with it. Oh, Ederson as well.
Fuck off, Ederson. Twat.
Never makes a save.
Oh, funny, it was more towards the corner.
Yeah.
Force him long. Let's take this off them and go again. Man City relenting here.
There
Let's
you
get
go,
Archie.
Great touch, Archie.
Move out Porro's way. Come on, Pedro.
See Wilson. Out wide to Johnson.
To Johnson. Not the greatest of balls. He's not going to do anything.
Down the line of Pedro. Man City on the break here.
Oh, well done, Bentacore. That's enough. You've done enough.
Way. He needs to be careful.
That's it. That's better
though.
from Johnson. That's good tracking back. Come on, Archie.
Get unfair yellow card. Remember, he needs to be careful.
Yeah. No, Bentacore done more than enough there to stop the Oku there. What the fuck was that? Oh my lord, that was useless. Who tried to play that one on? That was crap.
Might have been Poro. I don't know.
Come on, get the ball out. Let's get the subs on now. They're all waiting there. It's like the Avengers. Doku running at Poro. Switch of play. Out to Savio. Good pressure from Bentancur. It's fucking brilliant from Bentancur. Oh, Man City now just popping it around. They don't want us to make subs. I think Son, Kulu and Spence are all coming on, guys. Just get excited, hopefully.
No. Pedro, can you find one of them?
Oh, Lord. Well done, Gray. Good recovery run there. Helping out Poro. Come on, don't let Man City manage the game like this. We need to get subs on. Sit Rodrigo Bentancur. Why is he doing that? Where's Tell? Why can't he do it? That's it, Udeberg. Good pressure. Go on, Destiny. No foul. Go on, Destiny. Go on, Destiny. Good play.
Destiny.
Good play. Go yourself. Go yourself. Oh, Tell! Oh, no. Why isn't it on himself?
Take it yourself.
Go yourself, Destiny.
They were marking Tell. I think Tell was marked.
Yeah, they were expecting him to play it. He's got to go himself.
I don't even know if I can blame Tell. Yeah,
That's
maybe
him,
did
yeah,
get it
yeah.
to him. It's hard to tell. Did he
He
actually
get it to him? It's not a great effort. It's behind him slightly, but for me, I just love to see Destiny Udogie back himself.
They were forcing him to take it himself. They were just begging him to.
He's got to just go on it and take it on your left foot. Maybe there's a big secret in football that he can't shoot. Bentancur coming off brilliant today. Well done, Rodrigo. Which means Bergvall will drop into the deeper role and Kudu will probably go into the 10. Into the 8. Oh, Sar's coming on. So where's Spence? Spence was
Odebear being taken off.
4 subs. Sar, Son, Spence, and Kulu all on.
Brennan Johnson has stayed on the pitch.
How? How has that fraud stayed on? Get Udebear out to the right and take Johnson off. Come on, Tottenham, though. This is positive. Let's see what we can do. Come on, Sonny. You're fresh. You're fresh, kid. Come on.
Brennan Johnson has stayed on the pitch.
Jack's losing the will to live. Swedish Spurs are in the house. Good to see. It's not a bad flag, that. Oh! It's Johnson with the header. Oh. Keep the press on them. Don't drop back. Make them go long here. This is our game for the last 20 minutes. That's it, Kulu. Well done. Let's go, Spence. Go on, Spence. Go on, Spence. Oh, I already took too much out. He should have played Sonny. He was in. So Kulu's gone through the middle. Good pressure from Johnson there. That's much better. Can Kulu get there? Tottenham throw in. Get on with it quick. Fuck me. Poro to Bergvall. Oh, Gray. Into Danzo. Good turn into Madison. Well held up by Madison. Out to Sonny. This is bright. Can we get Spence on the overlap? He's gone. Play him. Good ball to Spence. Spence, put it back. Good
Jet.
ball. Sar! Oh, it's blocked. Is it blocked?
Damn it. Damn, Pop Matsar right there.
I thought that was it. I thought that was it, lad.
Oh.
Fuck. Why didn't you just hit it with the laces? Why did you gone side foot it? Porro.
Matters. Pretty much been all Spurs in the second half.
Yeah, we just... Oh, that was a real chance there. And we had one for Udaber and Tell as well. Just haven't took them.
Spence and Sonny, instant impact.
Yeah.
At least we can. That's the hope, right? Is that left side has been our only bright spark this whole game.
Yeah.
So we just need to continue that. That's the only way we score.
Yeah.
If we continue to go down this left side, that's how we score this game.
Good touch for Grau. Great ball. That's
wow,
more like
ball,
it. Let's
lovely
open
ball.
up. Spence. Madison wants it. He's coming in. Great ball to Sonny. Just unlucky. Just under hit. Go on. Don't give up on it, Kulu and Son. Go on, Sar. That's it. Force them into
Pressure,
mistakes
Sar.
here.
Madison,
well
man. What a beast.
It's brilliant. Spence tries to play Sonny. One of them gets it. Sonny.
Sonny,
He's unlucky. Just heavy.
Madison, what a tank, man. Again, he's faced up Holland a couple of times this game, which is not someone who you normally want to have an elbow flying into.
Good ball to Madison. Play Spence.
Lovely,
Spence is in again.
Spence, take your space.
Play Madison. Oh, yeah, I don't think he wanted Madison to go on that run there. I think he wanted to stay there and play off him. It's good ball back. Corner kick. This is much better from Tottenham Hotspur. Much more exciting now. Keep going at them. There's a goal here. There's a goal here for us. Just got to keep driving
down that side. If only there were two left sides of the pitch, we'd be all over them.
Fine given, I think Nunes stick there, was it? Oh, it's a poor ball. It didn't look like we were ready for that one. Bergval. Back to Vic. Come on, Spence. Oh, Jesus Christ, Barrow. No,
really
you can't do that. You can't jump out like that and not win.
Wow, the legs to recover there.
Let's go. He wants this. He's hungry.
From a baby there.
Come on, Bergval. Come on, Bergval. Play Madison. Let's go, Sonny. Come on, Sonny. This is his time.
Come on,
Come on,
drive at him, son.
Now's your time.
Son. He's all over the shop. You got to drive at him, kid. There you go, lad. Just get us up the pitch. He's
well done.
He's crumbling.
Sar. Madison. Back to Sar. Sonny in space again. Madison's on the overlap. Sonny could have held that.
Have to keep making runs off of Nunes, man. That's the goal. That's where the goal is happening.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't been taken off.
Paul Markey says 4 changes in that. Wanker Johnson still on the pitch. I give up. I think Jack sort of had the same sort of conclusion.
A bit
Paul
of a Coventry
Markey
moment with it, Paul. It's kind of like the Timo Werner, in the Coventry City game. It's a bit inexplainable to me.
Yeah.
It's very similar to me with the Coventry City game with Timo Werner, keeping him on the pitch when Timo Werner was just committing crimes against humanity out on that pitch.
Well, it's just like he still hasn't done anything. 72 minutes in.
And he's hurting you more than he's helping you in any way. He's been hurting you for 90 minutes.
Like Udaber should have been the one to stay on. Should have been. Porro, good ball into Kulu.
Nice ball. Kulu, risky.
Even he doesn't want to pass to Johnson.
Yeah, I realized it was Johnson there, maybe.
Yeah, he realized it was Johnson. That's what it was. No, you're all right.
I had to meg the player.
Tyler says, I've seen enough to build a statue now. I think Jack's right, though. You got to persist down this left-hand side now. Looking like we're getting a lot of joy there.
I don't know why. Guardiola, maybe he doesn't have anyone available.
I think he's trying to bring on Porro or Foden to try and get hold of the ball a little bit now. And Silva, he's bringing on his ball players. He's looking to get hold of this ball now.
Yeah, because for some reason, maybe he doesn't have another defender to bring on to cover for Nunes, because Nunes he's not been able to do anything.
Pep giving Nico a lesson as he's walking off there. Oh, Danzo recovers.
Well done. See if you can ping it out wide to Sonny, though. Odor eater. He was eating Nunes' odor all day. Or Nunes was eating his odor.
Porro into Sar. Well done, Sar. You animal. Go on, Johnson.
Take your space,
Come on,
Johnson.
Brennan.
Take your space,
Please use
lad.
the pace.
Whip the far post if you can. Get
It's
to
a good
the
comeback. Oh, he just couldn't get it on the fucking control. Oh, it's a good play there by Brennan Johnson. Very good play. It's much better.
Space, and he found Kulusevski. I think he got it right to him. It's hard to tell.
It was a good pullback. It was the right ball.
Yeah.
Kulu's just got to do better there.
Kulu.
Oh, well done. That's still in. No, fuck off, Rev.
How have we not scored ourselves now?
Yeah, it's just on Kulu there. I think Madison was maybe screaming behind him to leave it as well.
Yeah, he could have left it. Yeah, he could have left it, right?
Oh. Well, look, at least we got something out of him 75 minutes in. We're going to have to work our nuts off to try and press the issue here, guys. There's a goal here for us if we want it. If we could, we should have scored by now, actually.
We should have. Because I said that about 10 minutes ago, I think in the 59th minute, because it feels like Man City are still very capable of picking up a second. So it's just, we had to have taken advantage, maybe a couple of those.
It's just that ball that came across Tel and Udeberg. That one has to go in. That has to go in.
Yeah.
Go on, Spence. Go on, Spence. Come on, give us a Spence special. Oh, he's balling. Oh, look at that touches. It's gorgeous. Good ball. Oh, go on, Kulu, pick that up. Oh, fucking hell. He's so clumsy at times.
Like he needs to do some stretches.
It's just his body frame. He's not agile when you need him to be sometimes.
Oh, good ball in behind for Doku.
Oh, no. Can Archie Gray get there? Brilliant from Archie.
He did not look off to me.
No, he didn't look off to me either.
Tommy Tucci. Looking like he's falling asleep.
Looks like he's on fucking heroin at this moment. Doesn't he? I mean, he looks like he's on heroin.
He looks like he looks like, what is it? The Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy.
Or the Joker.
The guy.
Not the Joker. Sorry, the Grinch.
He looks like the guy in the Scream.
Looks like Macaulay Culkin.
Scream painting. Yeah, the Scream.
Oh Lord, holy shit!
Oh no, I'm even more done. I'm even more done. Paul Markey. I think this is Coventry City ×2 for me. This is just. I'm just questioning whether Ange knows what gravity is.
Werner! You're having a laugh.
I'm now starting to question whether Ange knows the laws of gravity.
I mean, you got poor Dane Scarlett off the bench, sitting there. Give him a go.
That's, kitchen sink time as well.
You're looking for a goal. Get him in the middle. Get balls in the box.
You can move Kulu out wide. Oh,
that's brilliant.
You can move Kulu out wide even, right? And have Kulu double up with Johnson.
Oh, he's just an animal. Ref, thank you.
Werner for who?
Please.
Yeah, that's another interesting question. Timo Werner for who?
Johnson.
Because I think at this stage you do. Well,
it will be Johnson.
You wonder if you need more forwards on.
That's ours. Surely that's ours. Come on, get it underway quick. We don't want him coming on, please. You can't even get his shin pads on, right? Look at him.
Pull your calf, please. Just pull it now.
He's nervous coming on. He can't even get tape around his shin pads. He's that nervous. What open we got?
I don't think he was expecting to come on. What did I do to deserve this?
Oh, all I can think about right now is my stir fry. Hopefully try and nick a draw here.
Timo Weenie coming on the pitch in the 80th minute is going to stir fry my brain.
It's going to hurt, that's for sure. Vicario now playing as a centre-back. That's it, Sar. Someone drop in. Good ball out by Vicario.
Yeah, very.
There's no need to play that one. Just pump it down the line to Kulu. He's just there.
Sonny hasn't really come on also, I would say, with a ton of energy.
No.
I don't blame him. But that move, again, of taking Odebear off, I think has hurt us because Odebear had energy. Sonny's almost given Nunez a rest.
Can't sit back. Have to go and hunt this ball. Come on, Porro. Oh, fucking hell, Porro. Have to go and hunt this ball, guys. I know it's tiring, but you have to. No point in letting them pop it around here. Foden. Come on, go and press this ball. We have to press the issue.
I think taking Wilson off has really killed the momentum.
He should just never come off. He was our best forward player. You keep him on and you take Johnson and Tell off. I'm sorry, but you do.
Maybe bringing Spence on could have been a different dynamic to help out Odebear. You know, someone a little bit different to help
but you can still play
Odebear was the one that was going to deliver us a goal. Keeping him on was the only way we were going to get a goal in this game.
What?
Madison has also been one of our best players, man. He's also been one of our best players tonight. Holy shit. We are not scoring. We've lost this game. The subs have made us lose this game.
The subs are so questionable. I just do not understand them at all. Any of them subs.
I wish he were back to having no subs, because then he could at least have that excuse. Now that he does have subs, he's looking more clueless.
Madison, he's the only one feeding Son. I don't get it. Foreigner from Madison, what parallel universe does that even exist? Oh, Lord. Them substitutions, it's like he's just given up on this game. He's just waiting for the Aussie Alkmaar game. Fucking hell. Yeah. How Johnson is still surviving on that pitch, I do not understand it. Honestly, he must be shagging Ange's daughter if Ange has one. It's just, how is he surviving on the pitch this long? I don't get it. He's offered absolutely zero. He's done one good run in 75 minutes.
Ange's substitutions have killed us this game.
You keep Udebear on. You keep Madison on. You're chasing a game.
Ange has hurt us. Like, the fact that he now has options, he's making himself look more clueless when he has options.
Yeah.
It's not defendable. two most likely players of us getting a goal tonight were going to be Madison and Odebear. Not like they were going to score the goal or anything, but they would have created the goal for us. Those two, they've been the best on the night. Johnson,
good
though.
play. Well done, Johnson. What can he do here?
Gets
Sonny!
it in!
It's slipped! Oh, he's slipping
No,
again. He's just
Sonny!
slipped. Fuck. He slipped when he went to go for the rebound. Jesus. Good play by Johnson. Good ball into Son. Unlucky.
Been two good crosses at the end, Johnson.
He done well to cut inside Kovacic there. It's a good ball to find Sonny.
Yeah, did great
Look at
to
this.
find
When he
Sonny
goes to
there.
tap the rebound, he just slips.
Good save. Why is Ederson all of a sudden making saves finally against Spurs? He never makes saves.
It's that Ortega looking at Ederson save. Thing is, we have had enough chances to at least take a draw here.
Yeah.
Come on, Spurs. See if we can nick something late on here. Oh, no, Archie. Great. That's poor. Well done, Porro.
He's had two pullbacks at the end for Kulu and for Son.
We've had more than enough chances to equalise here. Again, we just haven't finished our dinner.
Yeah. Just now Timo on for fucking Madison.
Go on, man. Go on, Danzo. Well done, Danzo. Well travelled. Just play Spence. Thank you. You nearly get Spence assassinated there. It's a switch of play. Oh, well done, Sar. Well read. Porro. Into Kulu.
Nice, Johnson.
Kulu. That'll do. Come on. Keep working this, Tottenham. See if we can salvage something here. Let's see if we can get something. Wild Talks Ireland, it was a joke, and it's a joke that's regularly made throughout sporting circles. I'm not going to apologise for it. I'm just not. It's literally just a joke. I never said it was factual. He's booked Sar. Out of all the challenges he could have booked today, he's booked Sar. He really is a City fan, this ref.
Referee cannot find any fucking fiber in his body to give us a yellow card for Man City. Not any fiber in his body. I don't even know what to make of this game because Spurs do deserve something from it.
Oh, we've had more than
It
enough
also
chances.
feels like we've sabotaged ourselves.
Yeah.
Still time left, though. Can't say that it isn't over.
Yeah.
There's still time left. It shouldn't.
It just feels like that we're never going to score at all. That it's just, we have this feeling. We go and win one big game, look good, and then we go on a barren run where we can barely score a goal. Bergvall made a mistake there. No, we're going to get punished here. Oh, Danzo, you bloody brilliant. That's ref. Well, now the referee slipped.
He just grabbed him by the face. Have you not given a yellow still? He just grabbed him by the face.
What a challenge from Danzo there. His hand is by his side. You can't give that.
And he's grabbing him by the head and the face, and he still doesn't give a yellow card. God, ref. Kulu struggled to get under control.
Oh, of course you would. Right near the end of the game, he wants the free kick to be taken from exactly. Fuck off, ref. Oh, we're just getting worse as the closing stages go on. Oh. Ref, how long are you going to let them take over and throw in as well? Come on now. You're going to do? Let them get to 90 minutes?
The foul's that?
Oh.
Come on, boys. Kovacic. Pedro. Oh, let's see if we can try and at least try and muster one more attack here. Gray to Vicario. Got to try and work this. No, Bergval, you've been a Just
troll.
go backwards, man. You have a sideways pass available to you. Just go backwards there.
Oh. Just got worse as the closing stages have gone on, unfortunately. Well done, Porro.
Get under control if you can.
Well
Nice,
done, Kulu. On to
Kulu.
Johnson.
Johnson,
Johnson
good
into Sonny.
ball.
Sonny
good
onto
ball
Kulu.
into
Curry.
now. Oh, heavy touch.
That'll do. Come on. Good ball into Porro.
Danzo, sir.
I'll go down.
Yes, sir.
Get it in.
Come on, Timo.
Get it in.
No, it has
Float it in.
No.
Float it in.
Oh my God, Timo. Bergval. Oh, broke down with Timo.
Why hasn't Timo put that in?
Broke down with Timo.
He's just got to put the fucking cross in, Timo. Holy shit. Oh. How has Werner not put that in? I don't understand it. We've got so many bodies in there. Just put it in, man. Ref, he's right on the sideline. Can we get him to walk off, please? You better be adding this on as well. Triple sub here from Guardiola. He's just pissing the time away now. Gundogan on.
Oh no,
Oh,
that's
no.
it. That's it.
Oh, no.
He's
It's
just
done.
bullied our whole defense.
Oh, fuck me. Fucking hell. Oh, Tottenham Hotspur. It's just so easy as well. It's just walk through them. Game was done when Varane didn't put that cross in anyway.
He just ragdolled their whole defense.
Some people are questioning handball. I don't think it
Yeah,
really
there could
matters
have
at this
been.
point.
There could have been. But yeah, it's too late anyways, but there could have been. Yeah, there definitely was. There could have been there. But not that I don't think we have enough time.
It doesn't really matter at
don't
this
think-
point. The game's over.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough time. I think it went off of Gray.
No, Danzo's handball.
I don't even think it
anyway.
went off of Holland. I think it went off of Gray's arm and Danzo's hand. Not Holland's. Yeah.
People are saying that's a goal. Just give it, blow the whistle up, put us out of our misery, please.
Could have been Holland's arm and Gray's arm.
Come on, it doesn't really matter at this point. The game's fucking over. Just call it. Just make a decision here. It's not like the referee's going to play on any significant added time to let us get a chance.
Yeah. Danzo sort of palming it into Holland's arm. Maybe that's the deciding factor.
I mean, there's handballs from nearly everybody there.
Yeah,
really,
everyone handballs it.
Looks like Gray, Haaland, and Danzo, they all handle it.
I don't give a shit either way, really. It's not going to be the difference maker. It's going to be blown up straight away. I mean, maybe we have enough time to fasten one more time to pump it up long. Maybe we can pump it up long once, but that's the only little bit of time we'll get.
We've already had our chances. They've already passed us by, unfortunately. Oh, my Lord. Someone's going to pull a hamstring.
I mean, if you're going to take this long over the decision, I say just call it off. Call it back then. If you're going to take this long, might as well call it back.
Yeah, no goal. Okay. See if we can fashion one chance here. I believe there's about a minute left or 2 minutes left with some of the time wasting.
Have they given it?
No, I just don't think they changed the scoreboard. Kulu, out to Porro. Back post, please. Oh no, Sarr, he's missed a sitter.
Oh, no!
Oh, Papa Sarr's missed it right at the end.
Oh, we've had chances.
Oh,
It was a decent little flick to Sarr.
Yeah, it was a great flick. He's just helped it on its way. He's done the right thing. Oh, Sarr. Oh, we've had more than enough bloody chances.
Yeah.
Ref, you told him 10 minutes ago to get on with it. There we go. That's it. Game over. Oh, another defeat this season for Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, look, guys, that one was a hard one to take. Do you know what it is? There's two things there for me today. Again, our clinicalness, something I'll keep
Yep.
speaking about. You know, we had more than enough chances to be able to take something from this game. Who to bear and tell, missed glorious chances. Johnson had two good pullbacks there that we couldn't put away. Sarr right at the end. We had a couple of headers from corner kicks. Just not clinical enough, just not good enough going forward. And the second thing for me is, look, we did give Man City a good game, but I think maybe the wrong decisions were made from the off, and I think the substitutions were maybe a little bit wrong for me as well. I think to not start Jed Spence. I can understand the Kulu and someone if you want to protect them to a degree, but Jed Spence was out of the team for most of this season, so I don't understand that one. Second of all, I agree with points that we are Spurs TV and Artist T made about, you do that for the Ipswich game. You don't do that for Man City. And I sort of agree with that. You go with your strongest team against Man City. So I'm not quite sure the thinking behind, some of these changes today. But then the substitutions, all wrong. Udeber's your best player. He's running Nunes absolutely ragged down that side. You take him off. You leave Brendan Johnson on the pitch. I know he created two chances near the end, but up until that point, he didn't deserve to be on the pitch. He was a passenger for 75 minutes of this game. And then you take off James Maddison and bring on Timo Werner. James Maddison is the only one getting on the ball, feeding Sonny. I just don't understand a lot of these changes that were made here today. And I think, to a degree, again, if we were clinical and if we went with our strongest team, I actually think we would have beaten City. I can't help but sit here and feel we left points behind there tonight, Jack.
I feel that way too. I feel that the players left points behind there. They didn't put away their chances. They had opportunities to get us back into the game. I think City wasted some of theirs in the first half. I think City could have been 2 or 3 clear in the first half, but they actually didn't really go on to, in my opinion, take advantage, of, their good play in the first half. I think in the second half, it was mostly Spurs. I think we actually did pretty well to claw ourselves back into it, sort of start to create more real chances, because it felt like maybe, Dave, in the first half, we weren't really creating any real clear opportunities of any kind that I could actually point out.
Yeah.
The only one I thought of was I think one fell to Johnson. It still wasn't really a clear opportunity. And then in the second half, I thought we were starting to play a lot better stuff. It's just that I think Ange, in a way, all bears a lot of responsibility for tonight's, sort of donut on the score sheet, because yes, the 2 pullbacks Johnson played, we should have put away those. Maybe there's some other chances there, but Ange did not help us in trying to get goals, tonight. If you keep Wilson Odegaard on the pitch, I think you get yourself a goal. I think if Maddison stays on the pitch, you get yourself a goal. The 2 substitutions that he made killed momentum for us, even though we still ended up creating chances after, those 2 were taken off. You still have to look at it. The momentum was really in our favor. Like, we were really running at that Man City team.
But they were useless in the second half.
They looked at 6s and 7s. They looked like they were about to concede at any point, the Man City defense. And taking off Odegaard, all of a sudden, Man City did maybe get a little bit of, semblance back in the game. They're able to waste some time. Remember, you noticed that, Dave, a lot of time wasting was able to go their way. And then he takes Maddison off, and it felt like that also really killed, Spurs's real drive and momentum and creating regular chances and opportunities. Just not really a game where I can say that Ange was let down by the players. He was, to an extent, because they didn't put away the chances, but he didn't help himself out in any way with the substitutions made today. And maybe in some people's opinions, the original starting lineup. I can't say that personally. Maybe in hindsight, maybe tomorrow I might say that. It's just that I personally was all right with the majority of the rotations that were made. It was just that the substitutions he made, I think, really killed a lot of our momentum to drive on and grab an equalizer. And who knows, maybe push on and grab a winner.
Look, but this is where I do agree with people. You don't make the changes against Man City. You make them against Ipswich, knowing that you have Man City coming up, and then you've 8 days, so you can still play your strongest team against Man City. And that's where I think Ange Postecoglou got it wrong. There's no real sort of forward plan in there. If you know you want to make rotations over these 2 games, you pick Ipswich to make them rotations, not Man City. And when it comes to the substitutions, look, there is no justification for them. When you're chasing a game, you keep your best attacking players on the pitch and you take off the players that aren't really having an effect. to a degree, he sort of done the opposite tonight. He brought off the players that were having effect and kept on the players that are having no effect to a large degree. And I
Timo
think
Werner.
them substitutions were absolutely all wrong. You keep Udeberg on. He's giving that fullback an absolute nightmare. You've got to keep him on. Yeah, it may not be the subs that you pre-planned, but that's where you've got to just in game and go, look, get Son on, get him up through the middle and get Yankulu out on the right-hand side. Not ideal, but that's what's got to happen. You've got to keep Udeberg out there. You didn't even bring Timo Werner to Ipswich Town. Why the fuck are you bringing him off the bench and taking off James Maddison, who was very good in the midfield today, by the way? Getting on the ball, playing people in behind, runners in behind. That's what you need these closing stages. Someone that can get on the ball. That chance right at the end where Werner had a chance to deliver across. James Maddison would have delivered that. And that's the difference. That's the sort of difference that we're talking about here. And for me, it's almost a case of too many cooks spoiled the broth tonight. You know what I mean? Too many options, and we sort of play around with them, tinker around with them too much, and we got it wrong. And what really annoys me, Jack, about it is Man City were there for the taking. They are not the juggernaut. We've already beaten them twice. I'm beating them well this season. That second half, we were all over them. And again, the forward line, we got to really sort of get this sorted out in the summer. It's still not right. It's still not good enough. Still nowhere near clinical enough. Even though we're talking about the changes and the starting lineup, realistically, we should be sitting here talking about a draw. We still done enough to be able to take a point. I just feel like too many things went wrong for us tonight. And I'm not even going to sit here and blame the referee. Don't get me wrong. He was fucking atrocious. Some of them City players should have been booked earlier on, which means they can't do the time wasting or pull players down later on in the game. But at the end of the day, it's just one of them where it seems like everything went wrong today to a large degree.
Yeah, I think once again let down by a lack of finishing and no clinical edge. But this is one where I just think there's 2 periods of momentum and they were just killed by substitutions, in my opinion. Absolutely killed. The Timo Werner one, if you disagree with the Odebear one, maybe because he's injured, that's fine. I could see maybe logic in that, right? He's only coming back from injury. Still, though, I agree with Dave. Like, he looked up for it. Like, Odebear didn't look like he was tiring or anything. He looked like he was gaining in confidence, gaining in sort of, influence. And
but Jack, subs in football.
But the Maddison one, Dave, for Timo Werner, the Maddison one is just pure baffling because Maddison was rested for the Ipswich game. Didn't play in that many minutes against Ipswich. So it feels like he kind of could play 90 minutes here, or even play up till maybe 88th minute, 85th minute, not 78th. Like, he took him out in like the 78th minute. Like, he gave Timo Werner more than 12 minutes to try to make a change. Like, it just shows he likes Timo Werner. Like, he rates Timo Werner. He rates Timo Werner to make an impact in the game. I mean, none of us do. Subs
in football are used to impact the game. That's what substitutions are for. And how you impact the game is take off players playing poorly and bring on fresh players off the bench. I don't really buy, that, Udeberg had to come off. At the end of the day, he's playing well. You change your thinking. You change it. I don't care. You got to keep him out there. What's more important is the results. I'm not being funny. Come easy out, Mara. Udeberg will be back on the bench anyway. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, run the legs off him today. Keep him out there. Like you said, right up until the dying minutes, until his legs are absolutely gone, and then you make that substitution. But for me, there's no justification for it. You don't take Maddison off, and you certainly don't take Wilson Udeberg off. Your two most threats today. You bring on Son, you bring on Kulu, and you add to that. I think we got it wrong. I'm sorry. There's no justification for taking off Udeberg or James Maddison today. Not when you're searching for a goal. And this isn't the first time Postecoglou has took Maddison off when we were searching for a goal, by the way. This was a common theme so far earlier on in the season.
I think that's where people are mad at it. It's because it's, Ange has been called out before for substitutions, not really, to a lot of us, maybe, matching with the momentum in the game and where the problems are being created. And I think, that's probably why people are angry. It's because it doesn't feel like the first time. Jerome saying, all I saw in the second half was that we were not clinical enough. We did not finish our dinner, but we gave Man City a game. Jerome, I think we are happy with the performance in the second half. But once again, we just find ourselves, saying the same thing of not finishing our chances, no clinical edge. But I'm sorry, man. I think Ange takes responsibility for us in some degree, not getting that equalizer, maybe even a second goal. Wilson Odebear stays on the pitch. In my opinion, Wilson Odebear stays on the pitch. An equalizer eventually comes our way. James Maddison stays on the pitch. In my opinion, an equalizer would have eventually come our way. Taking off both of them, I think, prevented or at least made our life a whole lot harder to try to get that equalizer. That's where I think Dave's and I point are. And I think some frustration can be seen from that. If you don't feel that way, you might not feel that way. But me personally, I think James Maddison and Odegaard were our best chances of creating that equalizer or grabbing that one at some point. I'm not even saying they would have been the goal scorers, but I think they were the positive influence that was, happening in second half. Part of the reason I think we played so well in the second half was Maddison and Odegaard personally, and their momentum, their influence, I think, was taken away.
It was just bizarre. It's just bizarre. I find it just bizarre. I'd like to see what the justification was for it after the game, but I think it was just bizarre personally. We all play football, we all play FIFA and stuff like that. And one thing you don't do is take off players that are having an impact on the game. I'm sorry, you just don't do it.
And then earlier saying Ange is going to sign Werner long term, says Al Ben. That's what also kind of, I think, it's a bit like the Coventry City game where he brought on, what was it? He kept Timo Werner on for like close to like 85 minutes, right? I think it was the Coventry City game. He kept Timo Werner on despite how useless he was proving to be. And I think Mikey Moore, he just sort of kept on the bench, the whole time, waited till the very end to bring in Jed Spence. Jed Spence kind of came to save his ass. I think it's something kind of similar, to be honest, Al Ben, where I'm questioning, the loyalty to Timo Werner and, to be honest, to Brennan Johnson as well. To be perfectly honest, because if Brennan Johnson also starts and plays against AZ, he's then not rested Johnson. He's played Johnson for like a whole 90 minutes after coming back from injury. I don't know. I'm finding it really hard to explain. I'm finding it very hard to explain personally. Dark Sun G saying different ref, and if we had Dominic Solanke, we would have won. Sai.
Yeah, we're missing Dominic Solanke up through the middle. In terms of the press and work, the hold up play, bringing others in. We're really missing them. You look at Matisse Tel today. Again, tough on the kid. He's not a striker, but one thing you can't excuse anybody, even if they're playing out of position, is work ethic. And for me, I just don't think he believed in the press at all. I think, he's sort of in the mindset where he's like, oh, I'll just do this half-hearted but then save energy because I'm not going to win the ball. But you can't do that in this system. In this system, you need to go after it with conviction, looking to make them play long, looking to force them long. And I think that's where Matisse Tel probably lets himself down today. And I do agree with Dark Sun G. Even some of the crosses coming into the box there, you're just thinking, and I'm sure Dom Solanke's going ballistic. He's like, where were them crosses when I was playing? You know what I mean? It's just sort of like things just aren't lining up for Tottenham Hotspur this season, Dark Sun G.
Yeah. And then Artist T saying this is another game where we can't score 1-0 down. It's not good enough, and it comes down to Ange. It's too easy to see the game out against us. I think Man City were holding on there, personally, Artist T. I think they were lucky that we didn't grab an equalizer in this game. Don't get me wrong, though. Man City also could have been different scenario. Man City could have been 2-0 up, 3-0 up in that first half, at one point. They were missing some glorious chances in the first half. But in the second half, I think we were in the ascendancy, and I think we had enough chances to grab an equalizer. I agree with some people that, they were saying regardless of the subs, we should have been able to grab an equalizer. I would agree with that point. It's just that I think we still held ourselves back, by making those substitutions. I think that's the point. I think you can acknowledge that. It's just that for me, Artist T, I think Man City got away with it, to be fair, in the second, and I don't think they were that comfortable. I don't think they were holding on that comfortable, personally.
Look, what I would say is, right, questioning the starting lineup and not going with your best team and questioning the substitutions is one thing, and I think many people sort of agree with that. I think you go across all socials, you'll see that's what Spurs fans will be talking about tonight. One thing you cannot blame Ange for, though, is our lack of clinical edge in front of goal. You can't blame him for Odegaard not converting that chance. You can't blame him for Tel not getting on the end, not converting the chance. You can't blame him for Kulu not being able to control the ball on the pullback from Brennan Johnson. You can't blame him for Papa Matasar not heading that ball on goal. And that's where you can't blame Postecoglou. Like, the reality is, question the starting lineup, question the substitutions all you want. Be my guest, it's fair game. But on the terms of the clinical side, that doesn't come down to Ange Postecoglou. You bring in another manager, this shit is still going to happen. It comes down to the quality of player. And look, one thing we neglected when we were selling Harry Kane and no one really wanted to recognise is quality matters. And I think we're paying the price for that now. And hopefully come this summer, we address it with real quality. I even think to a large degree, again, we fell for it in January. We brought in Tell and everyone was there clapping their hands. Brilliant. I was just, look, we're making the same mistakes here again. And here we are again, sitting there waiting for these guys to make an impact. And this is what I keep saying. As much as we go after Andrew and Daniel Levy, I want fucking Johan Lang on as well. Nowhere near good enough. Yet another opportunity and another window to try and help us and bring the right caliber of players to come in. Yes, he got the Danzo wrong, or the Danzo one right, but we cannot get that forward line right for some reason. We cannot get it right. And you cannot blame Ange Postecoglou for the lack of quality in terms of finishing moves. You just can't. That's on the players themselves. You keep shopping in the pool, we're shopping in the forward line, and you're not willing to stretch for that extra bit of quality. This is what you get. You come out of games feeling very frustrated because you're not buying players that are clinical in that moment with that consistent end product, and it's a huge problem. We created more than enough chances to get a point here today. And maybe if we would have got things better with the starting lineup and the substitutions, maybe we could be sitting here talking about a win.
Me personally, Artisty, I don't think Man City stifled us like you might be suggesting in the second half. I think they were holding on, in the second half. I think they were lucky to see us not put one in the back of the net. But that's just me. That's just the way I saw it. I thought we were wasteful towards the end there. Jerome saying only Werner to be on the pitch made no sense at all to me. Madison was on a yellow, though, and was slowly fading off, he's saying.
Yeah.
Again, like I can see why people are saying, take Odegaard off. He had an injury and things like that. It's just then why keep Johnson on for as long as he did? Because Johnson is also coming back from injury. I know maybe not as long of one, but still, like if he plans then on playing him for the AZ game, it's just I just don't see it. I think certain players he kept on for a really long period that also maybe were nursing something or have only just come back. Madison as well, like he rested for the Ipswich game and has then brought him off in the 78th minute when I didn't think Madison personally was showing signs of tiring. Maybe he was, in your opinion.
Bergvall played 290 minutes.
I just struggled to defend both of them. Maybe one of them is defendable. The Madison or the Odegaard one. Maybe one of them is defendable.
Look, if it comes to Wilson Odegaard and genuinely doesn't have 80 minutes in the tank, I'll still sort of disagree with it and say, look, you've got to take it as it comes in terms of the game. But I'll wrestle with that one, right? The Madison one, there's none. Bergvall played 90 minutes against Ipswich and 90 minutes tonight. Madison came off the bench against Ipswich and was taken off after 80 minutes tonight? I'm sorry, there's no excuse for taking Madison off today. I get what you're saying about being on the yellow card, but you're chasing the game. All you got to do is just get an instruction on and say, Madison, don't go near the ball, don't tackle anybody. Let someone else do that. But we're keeping you on for when we're in possession, we're going to look to get it to you. There's ways around it. You don't have to take him off because he's on a yellow card. In terms of fading, I understand what you mean, but it was just 2 minutes before that where you picked up the ball, put a lovely ball in behind for Sonny. And it's sort of like as soon as you took Madison off, we neutralised how good we were down that left-hand side. Even when he brought on Spence and Son down that side and took off Odegaard, we were still creating because they have that Madison player in there to link up with. When you take him off, it takes Son out of the game, it takes Spence out of the game because you don't have that link. That's why he plays the holding midfielder and the two there, so that the fullbacks and the wingers have that link in the midfield to be able to link it up. You take Madison out, you take that out, and we've seen that. We ended up what would you say? What's the right word? Shooting ourselves in the foot by taking Madison off, because then you ended up neutralising that side. For me, the Odegaard one, like I said, I'll wrestle with. The Madison one, I'm not changing my opinion on. You just don't take him off. I'm sorry. That's just where I'm at with Jerome. But maybe the Odegaard one, I might concede.
I just think they were the one driving us, and influencing the game to get us that equalizer. I just felt like we had real momentum with both of them on the pitch. Felt like with Odegaard, like he didn't show signs of tiring to me, and he looked like he was going to cause Nunez more and more and more problems. Same thing with Madison, but that's just the way I saw it. I just thought that, the more you kept them on, the more likelihood, there was going to be a goal, coming very, very quickly, around the corner. I think Q7 just going to take some other comments. Q7 saying they keep Johnson on as they maybe genuinely see his tap-in ability is crucial to our attack. It's a joke. In a way, maybe to you it's a joke. I'm trying to be balanced here and trying to see the logic of it. I could see it. Johnson has that knack to be there, maybe be that guy to put away the chance. I could see the logic in keeping him on. It's just that he didn't really do much of anything until the Wilson Odebear sub basically was made. And then it felt like Johnson maybe got a bit of a wake up call or something like that, and then was able to get himself into the game. To be fair to him, though, like as much as we slayed him, he created 2 good chances with
Yeah,
those pullbacks. But apart from that, I really can't say he did anything in this game. And then also liability wise, defensively, he is a liability for us defensively. He contributed to the problems down that right side. It wasn't all on Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro doesn't deserve any excuses, but Johnson, let's be honest, does not help him out either. So I just don't think Johnson then gets a pass, from this performance. And it feels like that's all of a sudden happening too,
look,
where
I,
we're kind of for the 2 pullbacks all of a sudden have excused, the 80 minutes before that.
Jack, I'm sorry. The first one was on like 75 minutes. I'm sorry. Two things from a professional footballer. Jed Spence had the exact same amount, if not more, and he played 15 or 20 minutes in today's game. It's nowhere near good enough from Brendan Johnson. It's not excusable. You can't be living off that. And I'm sorry. I get that he's our top scorer, and maybe that's why Ange kept him on, right? Hoping that something falls his way and he buries it. Maybe that's the explanation on why he kept Johnson on. But you can't rely on him being in the right place, right time every single game. At some point, if others around him are doing the job, like Udeber, you turn around and say, sorry, Johnson, I'm sorry. But this is where you do need to learn to bring something else to your game. You're coming off. And the fact that he's showing today he can do it, then it makes me question why he doesn't do it a lot more then. I'm sorry, but waiting 75 minutes is nowhere near good enough. You want me to be quite frank? You go back, look at that goal. When that midfielder picked up the ball and he progressed it onto Doku, Johnson is jogging, not sprinting. And I'm sorry, a player that's a natural winner takes him out and takes a fucking yellow card and realises the danger. Johnson didn't do that. So the problem today was twofold. Defensively, I thought he could have done a lot more to prevent that goal. And also going forward, I've told you I'm not waiting 75 minutes for an individual to have an impact. You shouldn't even see 75 minutes. You should be hauled off.
Just from earlier, stateside footy saying, right, if you take Madison off, you have to replace that creativity, or you mute your best players. That should have been Kulusevski. And then also Artist T saying, for clarification, Dave, I blame him for not having us set up in a way where we can't get anything from these 1-0 games. Yes, we had those chances, but City knew that we just wouldn't put them away.
Look, that bounce back ability.
Yeah.
That bounce back ability is long gone. That's something that we had in the first season under Ange Postecoglou. We were losing games, make a couple of substitutions, we were going on and winning games. But that hasn't been there since a good year and a half now. I agree with you. When we go one down, it saps the confidence. We've no belief. In fact, I've said it, Jack, many times. When we go one down, I don't believe we're going up there and then score. I just don't believe in this forward line. It's nowhere near clinical enough to get us back into the games. But look, to your point, we created more than enough chances to take something from this game. So I get what you're saying, but we also created enough and we just didn't take the chances. So it's hard. Like, do you blame the players for not taking their chances? Do you blame Ange Postecoglou saying that setup wasn't right? But we did create enough chances to win the game. So it's a bit of 50-50 in my opinion, RSD.
Yeah. Good to see you, John Fitzpatrick. Tell's first touch and pass scaring me since his first match, says Rohan. I think another game where sadly Tell looked very anonymous and also was just marshaled very easily. Rohan, that's all I can say. Again, we're going to give him more time. We're going to have more sample size to work with, in terms of judging him, right? We're going to have more time, more games to look at him. But the guy, I think in the last 2 games, what I would say is he's been a bit anonymous. And then when he even has had a touch or even has had an opportunity to get onto the ball, he's kind of let himself down with, like you're saying, a poor first touch. So it's unfortunate because it's 2 things. He's not really holding on to the ball, and then he is being marked pretty easily, with some of his runs for whichever reason. So it's that's all I can say to you, Rohan, on that one. Big up to you, man. And then I'm just going to get to some other people here. Appreciate you guys. Again, don't claim to be right about anything, but these are just, our opinions and our takes on this. We had as well, Jerome saying only, I think we got, and then Dark Sun G saying another day, Ben and Danzo headers could go in my opinion. Unlucky. Dark Sun G, 100%, man. Like Dave and I think maybe people have, again, we probably have really, the subs just feel like a really big talking point for us. Like for us, they feel like a big talking point and, potentially a deciding factor. But of course, like Ange can't do everything, with the finishing. They have to put away chances. And this was once again a game where chances did go did go. I don't think Danzo did poorly, on his. I think he actually did well on both of the headers. Maybe Bentancur could have done better on one of those set pieces. It's just that, yeah, it's a bit of both. Like, it felt like, the substitutions played a big part, but also there were so many chances that we just wasted that had they gone in the back of the net, maybe we get momentum, we go on and win the game. It does feel like we deserve something from this game. Really
Yeah.
does feel like we did. Rain Man, member for 12 months, saying, love this channel. You guys make this club bearable. Well, Dave and I make it bearable maybe for each other, and I think you guys do for us as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a three-way relationship on that one. But thank you
Rain
very
Man,
much.
I'm
Thank you,
starting
Rain
to
Man.
lose the will to live with this football club, man. I really am. I really am, Rain Man. Look, it's you guys that keep me going as well. So thank you very much, my man.
Thanks
I'm
for a
just
whole
so
year of support. Jerome saying did not help him with Tell missing an absolute sitter. Everyone missed a sitter tonight, but Tell, for me, Jerome, I think the more frustrating thing is like there were moments when we had breakaways and they were just marking his runs, so easily. Like he was rarely open, like in the game. He was never standing in acres of space or finding little pockets to put himself in that would cause danger. He just wasn't making the right movements for me today. I understand you have an issue with the finishing. I think you brought that up before in your last fan cam. But yeah, man, I think it's the movement today that was also a bit poor for me.
Well, look, Tell wasn't the only one that missed a sitter. Udaber missed one at the back post, and so
Yeah,
did Sarr right at
true,
the end. And
true.
I'd argue in the opening stages, Johnson had a chance to pull the trigger and didn't as well.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone felt guilty.
Yeah.
Dark Sun G saying these games always come 1 week too early, like the FA Cup.
Maybe, but I just
We
think
always
when
do
it
well
comes,
against Man City, though. So that kind of feels, we've beaten them 1,000 times with no players available. Or
look,
yeah,
yeah, the thing is when it comes to games like this, I wouldn't argue it's come too early. Look, we just didn't go and take what we should have out of it. And
Yeah.
it's a common theme, at Tottenham Hotspur. We play well, we huff, we puff, we try, but the reality is I've been trying to speak about for a long time about the quality of this forward line. It's letting Ange Postecoglou down. Every new signing that comes in across the forward line, Dave, be quiet, back it. And it's just like, yeah, but what do you want me to do? Back it when I don't believe it's going to help Ange Postecoglou out? I mean, I'm just sick of talking about it. For me, at Tottenham Hotspur, right? We've always been a team where defensively we've always been a bit sort of weak. Midfield has always been sort of a bit weak. But one thing we've always been good at, and why millions of fans have got involved with this football club or have supported this football club, is because you've seen a great player. We've always been very creative. We've always scored a lot of goals. And it's absolutely killing me watching this team going forward because it's so devoid of genuine quality. If we could just sustain pressure and a lot more quality, we would enjoy it a lot more because we'd be playing in the opposition half a lot more. But right now, I'm seeing a club that I don't recognise. And the reason why I do not recognise it is because the lack of quality we have going forward, the lack of clinical nature we have going forward. In my lifetime, I've been so lucky. I've witnessed David Ginola, Gareth Bale, Aaron Lennon, who else? We've even David Bentley was a half decent fucking winger. Shadley was a half decent winger. You look at them. I would kill for players like them in this team right now going forward because we're so void of quality, and it's absolutely killing me. It's absolutely killing me the lack of quality going forward. I'm sick of it. I've been banging on about it for 2 years now. I really have. I just wish someone inside the club would say, do you know what? Let's go on. Like what this forward line needs, and I'm sorry to say it, but it needs an £80 million player, £100 million player. You've let Kane go. Son's struggling because of it. You need an 80, £100 million player in here. Stop going in for your 40, 50, 60 millions. They're not good enough. They're too hit and miss. That's what we're seeing this season. They're up and down. You need an 80, £100 million player who's on it every week. That's what you're fucking paying for. Go and deliver it. If not, don't bring Ange back here next season because you are setting him up to fail again next season if you don't do it.
And then Jerome saying, to be fair, Johnson looked a lot better in the second half than in the first half. Jerome, this is just me on this. This is only me. Again, I'm not claiming to be right. I don't feel like Johnson literally did much of anything, like literally anything, either work hard defensively, create chances, even get a chance really himself, to take, up until like the 75th, 76th minute, whenever that pullback did come in. He did really well on that pullback. I'm not going to criticize that. Took his space well, found Kulu, then later on found Sonny. But I just don't think that's really worth any praise, to be honest. Just 2 pullbacks in the space of 90 minutes when he wasn't really doing anything else apart from that. Maybe I'm being a dick or whatever. Maybe I am. I don't think that's worth any praise, to be fair, because I think there are plenty of other players in the game that were more consistent in us, trying to get over the line. I think Madison deserves more praise. I think Odegaard deserves more praise. I think Bentancur deserves more praise. I think other people in the game tried more things and helped us more consistently in the game to get us over the line. But those were 2 big moments from Johnson, and then those should have
Yeah.
or probably would have ended up in a goal. To be fair to him, one of those could have been an assist. It's just, I feel like, it's just one isolated moment from him all of a sudden covers up for 90
Yes.
minutes of nothingness,
Yes.
90 minutes of nothingness.
That's the big thing. What did he do for the rest of the game? First half MIA, and let's be realistic, it was 2 chances he created near the end of the game, but we shouldn't have to wait to that point for this guy to come good. He should be doing it, showing a continuous trend throughout the game, not just once. And this is where my problem comes in with him, Jerome. And this is where I'm wrestling with it, because he does have a good skill at arriving in at the right place at the right time. But then what you're doing is you're asking the left side to constantly create. If you really want to be good going forward, and the reason why we were good under Pochettino is because you had Harry Kane through the middle, Son off the left, and we were good down the right-hand side creativity too. Right now we're relying on one side, and very quickly teams are going to catch on to that, and they will end up blocking up to stop it. Look, we can't sit here and make excuses for players like this. If we want to kick on as a club, if we want Ange Postecoglou to stay as manager, you need players like this to develop and kick on. Because if not, they will cost him his job. I'm sorry, they will.
It's just me, Jerome. I don't think it covers up for the 9 minutes of it. But yeah, I have to praise, those would be 1 or 2 moments where it could be a goal. Dark Sun G saying, we were like Brentford when we beat them 2-0, not on our day. Also, Wilson looked decent for his 4th game for us. The only sub I was questioned by was Madison for Timo. Why not Dane Scarlett? I guess we haven't brought that up right too, because Dane Scarlett seemed fair for like a kitchen sink sort of time. Maybe Madison could be taken off for Dane. 7-8 minutes to go. Just need to get another guy into the penalty area, start whipping some balls into the box, maybe even push Kulu out to the wing, have him start whipping in some in-swingers, that type of thing, right? And that would make sense. Timo Werner, I didn't see any point Timo Werner coming on the pitch. And then he moved Sonny, into the middle to be the target man because of it. It just didn't make sense to me.
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. I still think there's a culture in the club. It comes back to our debate show last night, Jack. It comes back to what Tim Sherwood said about the Harry Kane saga, where he went to start him in a game and Daniel Levy came in and said, what you doing starting him? When he's off to Leicester tomorrow, we're taking 200 or 500,000 for him. We've paid for Soldado. He has to play. And only that Tim Sherwood sat there and put his neck on the line and said, no, I'm doubling down. Harry Kane has the ability. I'm playing him. Soldado isn't doing it for me. He's not doing what I need. And I still think that culture exists. Look, the owner's in at the manager going, what's the lineup and stuff like that. I don't like that. Look, that happens. Tim Sherwood was saying it was happening. That's how Daniel Levy found out Harry Kane was starting, because the conversation was around who you're picking tomorrow. And I still think there's an element of that. We look at the academy kids as to a bit of a disdain. All of a sudden we bring in these shiny new projects and we want to give them a go. I'm not being funny. What has Matisse Tell done that Dane Scarlett hasn't? Dane Scarlett has had more an impact in games. When we were searching for a goal in one of them European games, we brought on Dane Scarlett, he scored a goal. Why aren't we consistently doing that? Why aren't we looking to develop our own? I'm sorry, but Matisse Tell isn't a natural striker. He is a winger. That's where he's done his best things for Bayern Munich. But we're persistent with him up front and keeping an academy kid on the bench. It's absolutely criminal. We loaned out Jamie Donny. You're telling me in situations like this that we faced this season, this team is crying out for creativity, that someone like him couldn't bring more creativity than someone like fucking Timo Werner? I mean, of course we can. But for some reason, inside the club, we don't want to push our academy kids through. We'd rather go to other clubs and go, how much does he cost? It's fucking brain dead. It's insane. And this is why I'm pissed off with this football club at this moment in time and all season long. It's because we didn't need to sign more academy products this summer or more youngsters, because we already had a load coming through with 3 years of success behind them in the under-21s. But we decided we'll go and spend what money we have to improve the first team and go in and bring a load of youngsters. And to a degree, bar Danso, we've done the exact same again this January. And I'm pissed off with it. When are we going to learn? We need experienced players to kick this on. Quality matters. And we've seen that in a game like today. And unfortunately, there's too much evidence. These games are happening too far in between, and it does come down to having the right quality. When you're bringing in players and you're buying in players, they're raw. They still need to develop, just like your academy kids, and that's the excuse given to the academy kids. But they're raw. They need time to develop. But so do these guys. Why aren't we giving some of these academy guys a go? It's a disgrace.
Funny enough, Dark Sunji, I think the Brentford game we were actually pretty clinical, and it was a bit of a robbery there. The way that we, I
Yeah,
think,
we were uber
grabbed.
clinical.
I think we did very well to take the chances that we had. We didn't create much of a whole lot, in that game. So we did well. Whereas this one, we deserved much, much more. As much as I'm frustrated by the substitutions and just kind of the way that game petered out and individual moments, I think we still deserve something from that game. Whereas Brentford felt like maybe we deserve something, but feel a little bit fortunate to us. But that's what's maybe frustrating here. Something should have been something should have gone our way in this one, Dark Sunji, and I think we can agree on that. DG saying we played very well in the second half. The initial setup, the initial lineup, maybe I think is what he's kind of saying. So maybe he's saying hurt by the initial lineup, but in the second half we played pretty well. I think we did play pretty well in the second half. I think we looked a whole lot better, and I think Man City were the better team in the first, and we were more likely the better team in the second. So it's just unfortunate we didn't, grab anything from that. And just again, feels like maybe the momentum was kind of just hurt slightly at different periods of this game with those substitutions. Again, only my opinion on it, but I'd agree with everybody that we were the better team in the second, and we should have pushed on and grabbed something from that.
I just sort of sit here and think, though, Jack, I think one change to that starting lineup, and I don't think we'd even be having these discussions right now. I think Spence in for Porro at the start. I don't think we're having these discussions right now, quite frank.
Probably, the defensive worries wouldn't be nowhere near as bad. DG, thank you for the support, sir.
Good to see you around, DG. Hopefully you're keeping well.
And Dark Sun G saying should have put Son in left mid and put Dane with Kulu in a 4-4-2, in my opinion. Yeah, Dane felt like, not a bad idea for the final minutes if you're going to take Madison off, because then you get some different sort of presence in the penalty area. And as we know, Dark Sun G, you and I, we don't really feel like Sonny's, really that guy for late target man, type of work, in the penalty box. He's just not that sort of guy. And I don't know why Ange sometimes persists with that. I really don't. But Kulusevski, I'm fine with, bringing Kulu on. It's just, I'd agree with you, man. Maybe Dane could have come on as kind of a kitchen sink time striker. He also says Dom returns next week, like how Vicario returns in the FA Cup. It would be a major boost. Dave, that's also another thing to consider, right? Maybe if Dominic Solanke were available, some of the hold-up play from Matisse Tell, today was a little bit poor. Dominic Solanke maybe does hold that up for us. Or also some of the chances that, fell our way. Dominic Solanke maybe snips it out a bit better. It's hip spots and maybes, but I think we can tell that Dominic Solanke, gives us a bit more in a few different areas than maybe Matisse Tell has.
No, 100%. I agree with you. I think Dominic Solanke coming back in will make a massive difference, in terms of especially the way we're looking to press, and I think with balls coming into the box, I think he'll make a massive difference. But, we keep sitting here and saying if we had this player, if we had that player, and you're right, it is all if, buts, and maybes. Where my problem comes in is that's the whole reason why you've got transfer windows, because you go, well, what if he does suffer an injury? How much of a gaping hole is that going to leave? So we need to bring someone in of quality for that reason. This is what the transfer window is all for having these. So when these scenarios do happen, you have the right answers for them. But we don't. We never pre-plan. We're so reactive. It's unbelievable. And that's why we always sit here going, well, if only we had this player, we'd have made a real difference. But we never do. And that's my problem.
Rohan saying we got so many promising young players, but sparkle it with 2 top quality players, keep Romero, and then we're going to be flying next year. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's an ongoing train. Let's hope so, Rohan. I think a lot of us would agree with that. Just sort of sprinkle in a few quality players with these young talents, and that's what this team really needs. We have enough young talent. We need the quality through.
It's what's going to happen in the summer. Yeah. It's what's been screaming out for. It's what I've been crying out for the club to do last summer. This January. I've been screaming for it.
I am the storm that's approaching. People are talking about injuries, but we really saw today that probably that would have been irrelevant if we just picked a first team from the start. Some people, think that maybe that would have been the difference maker, just probably not going for that combination of Porro and Spence, or even maybe starting with Kulusevski and Madison together. Hard to say, really. Hard to say. All Hard to say. Al Ben saying nothing more Ange can do. We are seeing the results of buying
Yep.
average players because of low wages. Majority of our signings are mid-table signings.
Yep. Completely agree, Abed. Completely agree with you there, my man. I mean, look, one thing I said with Ange Postecoglou coming in, he's not a project manager. He'll have 1 year and he'll want to go and win trophies that second year. Everyone said he's a project manager. What did he say coming into this season? I want to win trophies. And that's why straight away when I hear him, Madison, and other players mention it, and I see the transfer business, it never added up for me. It never screamed of a club that is showing the ambition to push for trophies. And that's where I think, look, to a degree, I think Ange doesn't help himself with some of the things he says in his press conferences and stuff like that, some of his mannerisms and that. But at the end of the day, he's taken responsibility for absolutely everything. And what did the board thank him with? Youngsters. Yeah, like this thing. Yes, people are going to go next day, but Ange said every signing coming in the door is his. Okay, let's get real here. Johan Lang has already took credit for Bergvall, so that wasn't an Ange signing. Kim Min-hyuk was definitely not an Ange Postecoglou or Young Min-hyuk. That wasn't an Ange Postecoglou signing. That was the club trying to get ahead of Sonny, coming to the end of his time at Tottenham. And the fact that we were in Korea at the time, it made perfect sense for them to announce it. So that straight away tells me you can't believe what he's saying in that regard. But, what did the board thank him with for front and everything? There you are. Have some kids go and make it work. If you think the next manager coming in, we're not going to see something similar where we're trying, we're playing well, but we're not getting the results coming out at the end of it, it's the same thing's going to happen because, like I've said all along, quality matters. It fucking matters. When are the club going to realise this?
And then also Darkson G saying Dane has 1 goal and 1 assist after he returned from loan. Once Dominic, Cootie, Richarlison, Van de Ven return, Timo will be nowhere near this team because our subs will have Archie Gray and Mikey Moore. That's
Should
a worry,
be nowhere near
Darkson
the
G,
team
though.
this
Like,
summer.
Timo still finds his way into the starting lineup and still is given plenty of minutes by Ange Postecoglou, and that's where you just start to question and start to wonder, why is it, though, that he just continues to give guys, keeps Johnson on for the entire time, continues to give Timo minutes when he can. I don't find that to be very... it worries me, man, just the loyalty to that guy. And also when he's accused Timo of not even trying, in certain games, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, really. And then Archie Gray, I think Archie defined in this game, it'd be nice to have him as, maybe an option in off the bench, for some of these bigger games coming up. We know Romero will be a huge boost to the team. Richarlison, who's to know when he would come back, but I think Dom Solanke, what you said earlier, will be a big, big boost to the team. And I brought up earlier with Dane Scarlett, like you're saying, with the 1 goal and 1 assist. With the very, very few opportunities he's been given, he's actually done quite well with them, in my opinion. So I do feel for the kid that when you're given barely any minutes to even get a chance to touch the ball, he's actually done well when coming on. So I do have to feel for him for that. In that regard, you're not really being given any chance to really succeed, but he's actually, I think, done things with the minutes he has been given. Me personally, this season, with Ange.
Here's what I will say with the whole Werner situation. First of all, he should never have been an option to select this year because we should never have brought him in off the back of what he produced last season. Nowhere near good enough. We took a gamble last January. It didn't work. But you know what? We'll bring him in again and give him a whole season to see if he gets going. I'm absolutely fed up with it. Should never have been at this club in the first place. But also, you look at him in the squad today. Half of me thinks he was told to put him in the squad and not bring Mikey Moore. Because again, we're paying wages for Timo Werner. We're paying through our teeth for him. Half of me thinks, because for me, it's an easy situation. That performance against Rangers was absolutely despicable from Werner, considering he was our freshest player on the pitch. Postecoglou called him out after. For me, you set your standards to everybody else and you isolate him from the squad. And it's an easy one to do because Werner should not be coming back this summer. He's a loan player. It's not like we've already spent money on him and he's here permanently. So it's an easy player to use to set your standards around the football club. And I know some people are going to say, Dave, that's not nice, but every manager does it. Amarim, try to do it with the likes of Rashford and Garnacho and stuff like that. If you want to try and have a cultural change, you have to do that, and some player has to be the fall guy. It's elite level sports. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. But now we find Werner back in the squad. For why? We already know his contributions haven't been good enough. Hans Postecoglou has already ridiculed him after the Rangers game for his contributions not being good enough. And then we're bringing him off the bench against Man City away from home and we're trying to go and score a goal. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling. And, the reason, again, why I don't think Ange Postecoglou has full control, because if he was a manager and he did have a lot more say around the place, Werner wouldn't be anywhere near this squad off the back of that Rangers performance. But the fact that he's a head coach, he doesn't have the decision to isolate him. That comes from people above him.
Jason Bell, good to see you, Jason. I could only half watch the game today. We could have been cooked by halftime, but at least we showed up for the second half. I think we were the better team in the second half, Jason, and I'd agree with you that maybe Man City probably could have been 2-0 up, 3-0 up in the first half. They weren't though, and we took advantage of their lack of finishing. And they kind of took advantage of ours, really, right? They hung on towards the end there. They were lucky that we didn't grab an equalizer, grab something from the game. And I guess we were kind of lucky in the first half that they didn't, get 2-3, in that first. So you could say both teams were fortunate that there wasn't a whole lot of clinical edge to this game. That's how I would say it. Dark Sun G saying next season we will have a hard decision to make with Vuskovic, Young Min Hook, Donley, Devine coming in with Bergvall, Moore, Gray, and Dane growing. Need more experienced players. Need to add in more experience. I think it will be difficult. We brought in so many young talents at this point that some of them will, be forced out. Some of them will be forced to loan moves, potentially even transfer moves. I think what's happening here, Dark Sun G, is Spurs are kind of just guaranteeing that they always have some really young talent, to pick from that either has a brilliant season abroad or a brilliant season with a different club someplace. They can bring him in, to be like a new signing basically to the team, or they can, recoup a ton of money for them. I think it's in a way a strategy by Spurs to maximize, the potential of some of these really bright young talents and then maximize the revenue that they could get from a potential sell, or they just end up becoming good enough to come straight into the first team after they get to develop. It's just that none of it's really for the immediate, none of it's really for the here and now. And I think we're seeing sometimes the effects of that. But yeah, some difficult decisions will need to be made by Ange because he needs more experience in this team. And that will come at the cost then of younger players and maybe not getting chances.
I think, look, when it comes to Dane Scarlett, I think it's a bit of a tricky one. If you're Dane Scarlett and you're seeing Werner come off the bench today, even though you've had impacts off the bench in recent games, that's going to piss you off. If you're seeing Matisse Tell being brought in, younger than you, being trusted and given opportunities up front, but yet you're not, and you've more experience in men's football than what Tell does, again, that's going to piss you off. And if you're Dane Scarlett, do you maybe push for a move this summer to get out of here and be given an opportunity somewhere else? But also, Dane Scarlett, the problem is once we called him back and played him, we couldn't loan him out again. So that's why he's sitting around here right now. I don't think the plan was to ever, call him back and for him to be a part of the first team. The only reason why he came back is because the club he was out on loan in went out and bought another striker. It meant Dane Scarlett's minutes were already going to be reduced because he already wasn't playing a massive amount anyway. And then because of our injuries, we needed to call upon him. So in a way, we haven't really helped Dane Scarlett to a large degree. And the kid has made the best of a bad situation. But every time he has an impact, there's a new guy coming in that he has to compete with in and around his age that we're paying for, that, he's better than. And he's sitting there having to sit there and watch it. I'm sorry, but, Dane Scarlett, I feel sorry for the kid. When it comes to Donley and Vuskovic, for me, I don't want to see them go out on loan next season. They're two easy decisions. You keep them in and around the squad. You keep them in and you say, look, you're part of my first team. Now it's up to you to go and push for minutes. So I think there too, you can safely say are good enough for this level and good enough to be kept around for next season. But then, Dark Sun G, if we don't get Europe next season, you're going to have to loan almost a load of them out because you're going to have a much smaller squad because you're only playing domestic football. You don't need a large squad for that to a large degree. So I think, European football is absolutely crucial for a lot of these guys' development right now.
Yeah. West Coast Spurs saying Vicario was great and Man City had misses, which is why it wasn't 3-0 at halftime. Would have been over before it even started. I 2-0 down at least. Like we should have been 2-0 down at some point in this game. We were lucky, but I would make the claim. Might be a bit happy clapper, a bit revisionist, but I'd make the claim that they also took advantage of us not being clinical in the second half. So in a sense, you could argue it goes both ways to that degree. I don't trust Ange, says Rain Man. I don't trust Ange is going to play Donnelly or Scarlett or Lancashire or any of the academy players. Some people are
But
starting to
here's
feel
the
that
thing,
way.
Rain Man. I don't think it's coming down to the manager. I genuinely think these decisions are being made ahead, and like I said, I think it stems back to Tim Sherwood basically being told, "We want you to play Soldado because we paid 20 million. Why are you playing Harry Kane? He's come through the academy. We're going to make 200 quid, 200,000 profit on him. Only that Tim Sherwood stuck his neck on the line and said, no, this kid's more than good enough. He's better than Soldado. He's playing. Otherwise, Harry Kane wouldn't have even had the career he did at Tottenham. And I do think inside the club, and Jack sort of alluded to it, when you sell academy players that have come through, it's pure profit in terms of on the books for the likes of your PRSI and whatever else financial shit you have to meet. It's pure profit on that, which then gives you a scope to go out and spend more money on your players from other leagues. But my point is, I'm okay with doing that with players that genuinely aren't good enough. But we're missing a golden opportunity to bring through like Donnelly and players like that. Every season we piss about with the Europa League squad registration, where we're registering 3 goalkeepers on a 23-man squad, even though you can register 25. So effectively, you're registering a 20-man squad to compete on all 4 fronts. In order to solve that problem, at some point, you've got to bring through a core of homegrown players. And there's no better time in my lifetime supporting this football club than what I witnessed last season, to at least have 3 or 4 of them come through and provide that foundation, which then means you can build a 25-man squad around that, and away you go and compete. And for me, I'm just worried that we're going to miss out on this golden opportunity that many other clubs would snap your hands off for.
Alvarez Fasare, Tell hasn't impressed in these 5 games. Moldy Pickle saying, not the normal gut punch from a loss this time, which is good. I wanted a rest for players and it happened. Seems to be a focus for Europa League for a trophy, which we have always screamed for. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, I mean, the Europa League is clearly the more important one right now for the squad. I mean, Ange's lineup 2 degrees suggests that. We'll just, hopefully smash AZ and then quickly forget about this one, Moldy. Al Ben saying, one decent player, average players, and kids is always our transfer business. No way for a club our size and the money we bring in, they are cheating us, says Al Ben.
Look, the biggest problem for me is when you're rotating a manager. Look, you look at the tenureship of the owners and the amount of managers. It works out every 2 years. Then you bring in the filling guys like your Masons and your Stellinis and stuff that we've had. It narrows it down even more. So when you're constantly chopping and changing managers, you're never getting in a place where you have a settled squad. So when you do have 100 million, we go into the summer and go, right, we need a right back, left back, centre back, backup goalkeeper, and another 2 players in the forward line. And we're trying to make that stretch, which means then you are alone in the quality of players you can go after and pursue and bring in here. We're trying to get the best player for a certain budget. But with the amount of finances we have at this football club and the amount of scope we have in terms of PRSI, it's just waiting there for us to hopefully, what we need is basically, what I'm trying to say is, you look at the likes of Man City, right? They can fund the best squad, bring in the best manager, go and win things. You look at Abramovich at Chelsea, he's been able to do that. That's why he was able to sack managers the way he has. We're trying to operate off that model without actually funding it, and we're trying to do a cheaper version of it. The only way that Man City have been caught the last couple of years is by Liverpool, who 9 times out of 10, especially under Jurgen Klopp, had stability, built that team over time. So it came to a point where they had 100 odd million and they said 2 players. Bam, went in there. They never ever looked back since. And this team is screaming out for it. Now, I know some people go, but Liverpool sold Coutinho to make that happen. Okay, we sold Harry Kane, and what did we do with that money? So we got it wrong. So now it's up to them to go and find that money again and fucking get it right.
And then Dark Sun G saying, we need to go all in for Europa by playing Dominic Van de Ven, Cootie, Sonny. Only here, leaving the Premier League 2 for Gray, Donzo, Richie, Dane, Scarlett as the number 9, while using Tell and Wilson as the left winger. So he's saying, Dark Sun G saying, now's the time. Just start, basically going for a 2 squad approach, Dave. 1 for the Premier League, 1 for the Europa League. I don't want to put words in Dark Sun G's mouth, but I think that's kind of what he's suggesting. Start to divide the squad a little bit here between, your best team, which should be reserved for the Europa League, and then look to give, the Tells, the Odebears, the minutes in the Premier League.
I hear the point on that, right? I get it. And I think, based off today and the team selection today, it does look like that Europe is going to be our main focus. So I can understand where that idea is coming around now. But for me, I don't think football works that simple where you go, right, you can play the Europe games and then you play the Premier League games. A lot of players actually prefer to play off rhythm. They prefer to play most games. They speak about it. A lot of them like to feel the rhythm. When you're taking them in and out and they feel disrupted is when they start to get unsettled, unhappy, and that's when they start making excuses going, it's hard for me to produce when I'm being dipped in and out. Most of them want to play regularly. And I do think there's a lot to be said to that. It's very hard to go, don't worry about you worry about the league, and then all of a sudden we're going to bring you in for Europe. You just turn it on. It's very hard to expect them to do that. I just think we're playing a dangerous game, in my opinion, by doing that. For me, especially coming into the latter stages of Europe, it's all about momentum. And that's why I think it's important to try and pick up league wins, which will then, when you go into Europe, you're feeling confident. Okay, off the back of it, and you've won a game in Europe, and you don't go in and you don't have the energy, and you don't get a win off the weekend in the Premier League, fair enough. But I think we're playing a dangerous game by splitting up the squad and going, you concentrate on Europe, you concentrate on the league. I think it's a very dangerous game to play, because I think ultimately what you're going to end up seeing is we're going to be let down the boat.
Big up to you, Patty Harnett. Good to see you as well. Thanks for popping in, sir. Jason Bell saying, I just don't trust this club's ability, this club's board to get it right.
Get Paratici back.
Yeah.
He got more. Look, Paratici didn't get everything right, but he got more right than what he got wrong. And that's better to be said than fucking Johan Lang and that other idiot, Steve Hitchin.
Yeah. Everyone, thanks for all the massive support today, from the pre-match build-up all the way through to this watch-along. Again, I'm disappointed. I think we deserve something from this game. Wasn't in any way, worst performance we've seen. I think there are positives to take from some of the good play in the second half. That being said, we could have been 2-0 down, 3-0 down in the first. It was a difficult one to get your head around. I think both teams, didn't have that much of a clinical edge about them in this. And, Spurs really could have gotten something in that second half. I think we easily could have. But just my opinion, substitutions really let us down. And I think ended up hurting momentum and just hurting our chances of getting that equalizer. That's just my take on it, though. I think that is the big talking point. I think that is where the people are dividing on this. How much did those substitutions play a part? Some people think they did. Some people kind of think they didn't. Some people think it's kind of irrelevant. But I think that is the big talking point that we did try to hone in on.
We're gonna run through social. We'll be doing a Twitter reacts tomorrow or tonight. At some point, we'll work it out after, where we'll go through socials and we'll sort of see what the general sort of consensus is. But I do think you're right, Jack. I think that will be a big contention point with many. Look, letting us down, maybe harsh. What I would say is didn't help the situation anyway, or didn't improve the situation the way we could have. I would agree.
And
guys,
also,
it's just disappointing.
It'd be nice to have. We're not going to go live, before we do know this time, but it'd be nice to have the recap sort of from Big Up. So do take a look out for that, so we can actually take a look at some of these chances, take a look at some of these moves in the second half where it could have gone better. Maybe things Dave and I might have missed, as well, from some of the highlights and some of the clips. So look out for that tomorrow as well. If we can do a Tottenham hangover for some of the highlights of this game. So something to look forward to there as well, just to get a better assumption of this game. And then Darkson G following up by saying, this summer, what do we do with Solomon, Hill, Valise? Their spots are covered by Dane, Moore, or Wilson, or maybe even hopefully an experienced forward option in the summer. The only games left that we should go all in are the Premier League. In the Premier League are the Chelsea game and the Liverpool game. I think Brian Hill's out the door. I think pretty much he's already, I think he is going to go to Girona or maybe some club in La Liga, you'd imagine. Valise, I think that dude, unless he has a spectacular season or something like that, with his next loan move, I think he'll probably just be given more loan moves and then eventually will be sold on. Dark Sun G. With Solomon, as good as he's been playing for Leeds United, I think his time here is also kind of cooked, and I think he's going to probably be sold on as well. And it's up to Mikey Moore, Wilson Odegaard to be kind of the next torchbearers and be the guys to gain more and more experience, get more opportunities. But I think they're going to be the ones to replace those guys. And then, like you say there, hopefully we get to bring in another experienced forward option to compete amongst them. But I think those guys are going to be out the door.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you, Jack. Look, I actually really like Solomon. I think he's a really good player. I can't help but think that performance against Burnley that time, that was really good. But the reality is he had 2 bites at the Premier League with 2 different clubs, and he ended up carrying an injury for both seasons. I don't think he's got the body to be able to sustain a Premier League season. And I think that's why we're looking to cash in, especially under Ange Postecoglou. When it comes to Gil, I think, look, his time is up at the club. Do we already have a deal in place? Is it a loan with an option or an obligation to buy? I
Yeah,
think
that's what
they're
I'm trying to
make that in
remember.
place. With Feliz, look, his 2 loan spells haven't gone well. Again, we loaned him out to Sevilla and he barely got game time because the manager wanted an experienced player and they brought him in Feliz. And then his loan move this time around again, it hasn't really gone well, not playing a lot of minutes. So for me, I think probably another loan move for Feliz next summer. And again, unlucky, he scored, didn't he? And then he ended up, injuring himself. So, he's sort of a bit unlucky in that regard as well. Timing in football is everything at times. Look, I would like us to go for all the games between now and the end of the season, Dark Song G. I don't want to sit here and pick and choose games. There's still a big chunk of the season to go. There's still 2 or 3 months left. For me, I think if you start picking and choosing games, you're going to lose a lot of fans along the way. I think you've got to try and go all out and try and win every single game between now and the end of the season. That should be the aim. For me, you aim for the impossible or you aim for excellence, knowing that it's never going to happen. But at least if you can bring consistently along the way, it helps.
Yeah. I just think we're gonna have to sadly, move on from some of those guys, Darks and G, and we're gonna have to look to see more Wilson, take on the torches from there. And we do need an experienced forward player this summer for sure. Thank you for all the support today, by the way, man.
Yeah,
You've been
it's
very,
been
very
great.
generous today, as well as so many people, especially I remember earlier in the stream, by the way, anybody who was gifted a membership by the one and only Rob Wallace gifted out a ton of memberships. So please, everybody, take advantage of those. You can send in fan cams. You can also as well come on to the next fan show for next week, which should be Monday, before the for the AZ game, big game week. So feel free to make your debut, and lots of support today. Jerome, thank you so much. Darkson G, Rain Man, Artist T, Al Ben, appreciate you, Al Ben. Good to have you back in with us, sir. Paul Markey from earlier, Shawnee Maddox celebrating a big milestone as a member. DG, good to have you back with us, DG. Hollywood Hotspur, and Lee Harvey as well. Thank you guys. Very, very generous today.
Yeah.
It was another one of those games. I think multiple factors. Wasn't a straightforward, simple game. I think 2 different halves that were very different from each other to analyze as well. And we'll try our best to make sense of it. Hopefully we get to be able to do a recap of it over on Big Up, at some point. So do look out for that. And
The only
plenty more
consistent is
content, fan cams, send them in, please. Be happy to upload those. And we pick ourselves up and we move on. Bigger games ahead.
the only consistent is we're always disappointed as fans. That's the only consistent. But guys, look, I think there's an 8-day break. We will have content out and stuff like that over the period. Don't worry, we're not going to go MIA. But we got to try and dust ourselves down and pick ourselves up, because one thing that's not over is the European fight, and that's next up. So guys, thank you for the support again today. Sorry about the disappointment. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Alrighty. See you next time, everybody. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.